So it's a big day for him as well.
Yeah, I went up to him and gave him a hug, and he looked at me and recognized it was me. He goes, "Oh," and I said, "Just go out and enjoy yourself." And I watched him in training, and he was actually hugging a good line and doing okay.
Enjoyment for him, but serious stuff elsewhere. This is a really important 4 rounds, a Grand Prix place up for grabs. Let's see the top contenders, the top 5 from last year. The top 5 from last year qualify for this series, this season series as of right. Lebedev's in 5th place, Dudek in 4th, Kawadze 3rd, Madsen 2nd, Mikkelsen 1st, but Kawadze is on the injured list. That's a big blow, Sam. Kawadze unable to take his place.
Yeah, it's a duplicate of exactly what happened in 2023. Kawadze missed the first one and came back and generated so many points right up to the very end, which was cut short in part of East with the weather, but he was scoring points all the way through. So if he would have been part of it, as he's missing this one, who knows what's going to happen when he comes to the second round.
Yeah, we hope we see him in the second round of the series. In the meantime, Mikkelsen and Madsen trying to win the title once again. Dudek will be definitely keen to play his part, and Lebedev's back in the top 5 last year as well. That was an impressive season for him.
Köszönjük szépen, kérem maradjanak állva, hiszen a magyar nemzeti himnusz következik. Ladies and gentlemen, and now the national anthem of Hungary.
The Hungarian national anthem playing out here at Debrecen ahead of the first round of the Taron Speedway Euro Championship. We're not too far away from tapes up and the opening. Let's head down to the bits from thoughts. Pre-meeting, let's join Marcin Muział.
I'm joined by Leon Madsen. Leon, you're the record breaker of Speedway European Championship Series. What can we expect from you this season in SEC?
I don't know. I will be pushing hard as possible to get back the title. And we start here today in Debrecen. I've never been here before. It's a little bit difficult track. I think it's a very long straight, it's very narrow, going into the corners, very tight corners, and I think it's going to be a little bit tricky today with the hot temperature and for the local guys to keep the track moisturing, and but we'll see how it develops. I'm here to do my best, and then we'll see how it goes.
So what's going to be crucial with the weather, with you not knowing the track? Great start or a fast bike or your skills? What's crucial here today in Debrecen?
Like most of the time in Speedway, the starts are going to be very crucial. I think it's not an easy track to overtake because the straights are so long and so narrow going into the corner. So when you're behind, it's going to be very difficult to have the space to pass. So we have to see if we can put on the gating gloves today and get out from the tapes in front.
I see, Leon, I'm having a hard time judging your season because you're doing great in Extra League, 3rd average, not so great in Speedway Grand Prix. I saw an interview with yourself 2 days ago. You said that you're struggling with your personal issues. I don't want to dig into that, but is it difficult for you to focus today on a meeting, or do you leave everything behind?
I try focus on the meeting today.
I see. Is it difficult?
Yeah.
Well, best of luck then, Leon Madsen, today and for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Such mixed fortunes for Leon Madsen this season, scoring heavily in the Polish Extra League and not scoring so well in the Grand Prix. Where do you think his mindset is, Sam, heading into this?
Well, I think if there's a chance to restart his season, what a better place. But there's concerns about exactly what this venue is going to give him. From what I've just heard from him, thinking that, he's never been here before. He's looking at the track. Kind of the same opinion I had when I walked in here yesterday, but it should be good for him.
Well, Leon Madsen, one of our main contenders this season. Let's take a look at the full field with the presentation. Your Speedway Euro Championship lineup for 2024. Jakob Torsell coming in as a reserve today at number 1. Mikkel Mikkelsen, the 3-time and current defending champion, rides at 2. Here's Václav Menik, who came through the SEC Challenge to once again book his place in the series. Andrzej Lebedev's former champion, top 5 last year. Yevgenis Kosygov, so Latvian rider, shock qualifier from the SEC Challenge. Mats Ionovski, the former world number 3, back for the first time in 11 years. Here's Piotr Pawlicki, also back in the series via the SEC Challenge, as is Kasper Borina, who went post to the podium 5 years ago. Double champion Leon Madsen rides at number 9, and here's Patrick Dudek, who's been top 4 in the last 3 seasons. Number 11, Anders Thomsen, the former Grand Prix rider, back in the Speedway Euro Championship. Rasmus Jensen rode well in this series 2 years ago, finishing in 6th place. Timo Lahti now rides for Sweden. He's in good form lately. Norik Badorm, the young German, comes in for the first time as a regular rider in the SEC. Bartek Kowalski, a reserve with Dimitri Berger ruled out injured, and the wild card, Norbert Margossi, rides at number 16. Here are your 2 track reserves on the day, Matic Ivacic, and also the Hungarian rider Roland Kovacs. That's the lineup for 2024. It is the Taron Speedway Euro Championship, and there is the lineup. Here's the start list, Sam, as we look at the field and we look at the established names on that side and that lineup, and riders trying to make their way into the Grand Prix next year as well. Who stands out? What are you looking for?
The obvious guys is Mikkel Mikkelsen on there, and Leon Madsen we've heard, but we've got Ionovski in here now. Patrick Dudek is a really big contender. We got Timo Lahti, which is in really good form right now. So there's a mix of everybody. We got the young blood coming in. They're learning this thing. That Norbert Luder from Germany going really good on the Great Britain side of things. And, who knows? At the end of the day, we'll find out. But this is a starting point for him right here on this 384-meter racetrack.
We're very represented in terms of nations. We don't have a Great Britain rider in the series this year, although we do have Tom Brennan as the 3rd reserve. He could come in at some stage. We do have a Great Britain referee, however, today, because Christina Turnbull is in charge, and she's just along the way from us, so we're going to be very careful with what we say. But the 2-minute warning is on for the opening race, and the riders are on track in glorious sunny conditions. It could make track preparation and track maintenance during the afternoon difficult. We'll have to see how things ride during the afternoon. But heat number 1 will feature the champion on track straight away in blue, Mikkel Mikkelsen, and he's up against Jakob Torsell, Václav Menik, and Andrzej Lebedev. Round 1 in Debrecen about to get underway, and the champion, Sam, goes in blue.
Yeah, I've not had any experience here watching from this position that I'm at. Not even been here to even see an event here in Hungary at this Debrecen racetrack here. But looking at it when I first walked in yesterday and looked how long the straightaways were, and they're 10 meters wide, so there's plenty of room at the start line for these guys right here. But when they go into the corners, it opens up another 5 meters. There's a slight bank in it, so these guys should be able to use most of the racetrack. So even that outside gate, you might have a chance of getting in there and going really high in the first corner, but time will tell what this track will bring these racers.
Jakob Torsell off the inside gate, who rode in 2021 in the Speedway Euro Championship. Mikkel Mikkelsen goes in blue, the defending champion. Václav Menik, former 2nd place rider in the competition, that was many years ago, and Andrzej Lebedev's the winner in 2017, but a real renaissance last year when he finished top 5, and quite impressive also on the continent this year.
Yeah, very much so. This is the new start for this 2024 SEC championship, which is coming up here in a few seconds now when the tapes go up here. These guys are all racing to see if they can be on the top of the pole at the end of all this thing to be able to get that seed for the 2024 25 Grand Prix Series.
Let's get it underway then for 2024. Here we go for the Speedway Euro Championship. Heat 1 gets underway, and Jakob Torso off the inside makes a good one, as does Andrzej Lebedev from the outside. Mikkel Mikkelsen bursting through in blue into second, lifts off the second bend, and Lebedev tries to come back through on the inside and moves back inside Mikkelsen, who's left out of shape there on turn 3 and 4. Torso with the advantage, good scrap for second place. Lebedev making it through. Mikkelsen finding himself in third place, and Václav Minik at the back.
Wow, amazing first corner and first lap, really right there. Things to settle down there. Mikkelsen found a position to get into the second there, but he had to work hard when he was trying to get Lebedev there. Now in that position there, these guys are going for Torcel out front from that inside gate.
Jakob Torcel looking really good out in front. He got clear in the early stages. The strap was on for second place. It still might be because Mikkel Mikkelsen, after a messy first lap or so, is now trying to gain back ground. Don't forget, every point counts in the Speedway Euro Championship during your qualifying races. These all count towards the series, and Mikkelsen running a third place in his first ride. Well, that's not what he would have wanted, certainly, as they go at the back straight for the final time. And it's Jakob Torcel over Andrzej Lebedev with Mikkel Mikkelsen third. Václav Minik out the back, but a great start here for Jakob Torcel, winning the opening race. It's second for Lebedev, and it's third for Mikkel Mikkelsen. So the defending champion picks up only a point in his first ride. Mikkelsen was so consistent last season with 3 second places overall and a 4th, but only a 3rd place from his first race this afternoon in Hungary, as he takes the point. But Jakob Torcel takes all 3. There's confirmation of the result. Torcel, the race winner. Andrzej Lebedev in second place. Mikkel Mikkelsen in third, and Václav Minik out the back. But that one really all about the scrap between Lebedev and Mikkelsen on the opening lap.
Yeah, fast. I mean, the starts were pretty straight up for these guys, and Mikkelsen was really trying to get one over the top of Torcel out of the start there, but Torcel really had that bike going forward quite rapidly, and Mikkelsen had to settle in there to come up the inside. But just on the outside, Lebedev is getting some really good drive, cuts back up the inside just as Mikkelsen lifts, and that's where the scrap was. Had plenty of speed going into turns 3. And here's another view of that start that Jakob Torcel from Sweden got from that inside gate. So this is the pattern so far. Only one race, so let's see what happens in the next.
As I mentioned before, every point counts. We have 20 qualifying heats. We're looking for the top 2 to go straight through to the final on the day, with the next 4 into the last chance race-off. That is the one race where the points don't count for the series, with the top 2 from that race then go into the final. So the maximum of 18 points on the day, and they all count as far as the 4-round series is concerned. So there is no letting off. There's no race that doesn't mean anything. It's vital all the way, and points dropped here could be also costly when we arrive in Chorzów in mid-September for the final round. Heat number 2 is at the start line. There is Piotr Pawlicki in blue. Here's the rider in white, Maciej Janowski, back in the Speedway Euro Championship for the first time since 2013, would you believe? Of course, a long-time Grand Prix rider, and desperate to get back in there, and desperate to make an impact in this series too. Yevgeny Kostigov is the qualifier in red, who came through the SEC Challenge, and Kasper Varina goes in yellow. But Maciej Janowski there in white. Really interesting to see what he can do in this series. There's Kostigov, the Latvian rider, who goes in the red helmet colour. Pawlicki and Janowski in blue and white. What do we expect from Maciej Janowski in this series?
Yeah, well, he's going to have to really hold on to that inside if he does make a good start the way it was going in the first race. But Kasper Varina from the outside, he's really going quick these days, and I think he's really hoping that this is going to be his night. But these guys here for the second time this evening on this 384-meter racetrack are going to be out there competing to try and get the best places they can.
Clock counting down to the start of Heat 2. Kostigov's on the inside. There he is. Pawlicki on Gate 2. Janowski, Gate 3. Varina off the outside. Janowski being called up to tapes there in Gate 3 with the clock counting down towards 0. Start marshal is ready now. Here we go then with Heat 2. Start by Yevgeny Kostigov from the inside. Coming across there from Gate 4 is Kasper Varina. And Varina here over Kostigov, with Pawlicki trying to come through. But Kostigov's here has second over Pawlicki and Janowski. This is a real shock here in Heat 2 as Varina races clear out in front, but it's Yevgeny Kostigov, the Latvian, in second place, who came through the second challenge on home territory in Daugavpils, and now Janowski is charging inside and takes down Pawlicki. Pawlicki is down on turn 2 after contact from Maciej Janowski, and the referee Christina Turnbull will stop the race and see what decision she makes, with Pawlicki on the deck on turn 2.
Wow, straight from the outside, Kasper Varina made a super start, but it's now come to a restart. He's going to have to do that again, and we know what happens a lot of times. The second chance isn't so gifting, but right now it's just a matter of seeing Everything's okay.
Janowski and Pawlicki exchanging notes.
Yeah, there you go.
But we'll see it again, of course, to see exactly. Here we go. So here's Janowski going through on the inside.
Yeah, he's coming on the inside. Pawlicki's there just trying to hold on to it. But Janowski, he just could not find enough room to turn the bike, and then he drifted a little bit too wide and straight into the path.
And the rider in white is disqualified. Maciej Janowski is disqualified.
Unlucky.
So do you agree with that call? He's coming. You can see him. He's right on the inside there, right on the cut. Then he moves out, and then there's the contact.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for him. He wanted to turn the bike a little bit quicker than that coming into that corner, but there wasn't enough room. If he would have turned the bike at the point, he would have knocked off Pawlicki a little bit sooner than that. The bike just drifted right straight into Pawlicki's line, and there was no choice after the contact was there. So a second chance there for Pawlicki to get it going and see what happens.
Well, they brought the ambulance onto the circuit, so I hope there's nothing too serious on Piotr Pawlicki. Hopefully, with a bit of treatment, he will be okay. And I'm sure with your other hat on, Sam, as well, you're taking a keen interest in Piotr Pawlicki with your Birmingham team management hat on in the UK. He's sat up there, you can see. So let's hope there's no damage done.
Yeah, maybe he's just taking counts right now to make sure. It might give him a little bit of time to get the bike going. He's standing up, which is nice to see.
Yep, good to see that. So Pawlicki digging in there on the track, and lots of moisture in the circuit, as you can see. You don't really want to find yourself lying on the track as he was, but hopefully he'll be able to turn around fairly quickly and take his place in the restart. But what was interesting there, of course, was the fact that it was the two, what you would call the star name poles, Janowski and Pawlicki, were scrapping away for third place because Verena had made a brilliant start and was way clear, and you've got Kostigov sat there in second place.
Yeah, that's it. Well, Kostigov, I mean, he's got himself into position maybe because Magic and Janowski and Pietro Pawlicki didn't quite get in there straight away, and it gave him plenty of air time to get in there. But the star rider getting out of that one straight away was Casper Fiona from the outside gate. So is that telling us something that the outside gate might be the one to be in as the meeting goes on? But Pietro Pawlicki's going back to the pits. Maybe bruised up a little bit. Hopefully he's okay, but he's got a second chance now.
Well, Heat 1, Lebedev's made quite a good start from the outside. He was certainly put him in play in the early stages, so maybe we will see him. There was some talk about the track preparation before the meeting and the amount of watering was taking place on the various different lines, and it's so hard to do it consistently on such a hot day, but that could be a difference at the start.
You know, the sense is when you talk to some of the guys, when I had the opportunity earlier on, you know, they feel this is a racetrack. You know, the guys can actually go out there and race. I don't think they're going to be relying on just getting out of the start, but this is the beginning of the event. The track's got to settle in a little bit. It is super hot here, so they're going to have to keep the water on it. The referee did make a comment earlier on that she kind of ordered the track staff, you know, stay away from putting the water on the track, especially if you got an inside line, because these guys will be turning it around a lot. But there's an incident, there's a replay of the incident, I should say, as Janowski just kind of came in. They wanted to turn the bike really hard. If he would have turned it right then and there, he definitely would have plowed into Pawlicki. But as he eased off a little bit, the bike drifted over. But let's go down in the pits here and hear what they got to say about it.
Maciej Janowski excluded from heat number 2, and I'm joined by Andrzej Lebedev. Sam, David, you spoke about the moisture in the track. Andrzej, what's your impression of the track so far? Because we can actually see the dirt and the former moisture on yourself.
Yeah, it's too much watering. I think we didn't need too much water on the track because that's not give us more option than just a start and take this correct line in inside, because outside is not working because it's too much slippery and you can't buy the speed outside. Yeah, and now we can see just one line, and if organizer continue in watering and make a grading like before first series, then we can see all meeting it looks like this.
So your solution is putting less water on the track, but still some water due to the weather?
100%, but everything was had, and listen riders who are racing on this track, because we spoke with guys who make a grading, who prepare this track, and yeah, that looks guys understand it us what we want and what we need for show good speedway here, but yeah,
Andre,
For first leg is a little bit mistake.
Andre, one last quick question. Gate number 4, great start on your side. Is that a best gate today here in Debrecen?
I think 1 and 4 works the best tonight, and yeah.
Thank you very much. Best of luck for the rest of the meeting.
Well, interesting comments there from Andrzej Lebedev, and I think going along with what you were saying beforehand, and I appreciate it's difficult on such a hot day. What you don't want to do is cover the spectators in dust, but obviously Lebedev's there making it quite clear that he feels that that's enough of track watering.
I guess his experience on the racetrack as might be the point that this is wide enough to go out there and use the racetrack, and the modern motorcycles these days on the speedway bikes, they tend to get traction on the slicker tracks as much as they would do on a grippy track, but this is very loose dirt, and with the dust coming up, there would be a problem with that, so the water will be the answer for the dust, but the racers need a track that they can race on, and if they put water on it, it does mix up the lines a little bit. It doesn't give them the opportunities to get some drive that they need. So there's a fair comment on both sides of this thing, but what are they going to do now? They just let the track be for a while, and then they'll get a really big dirt line. Maybe they just need to grade it loosely, but don't bring it in. I don't know what the answer is, but we just have to watch and see what they do with it.
We'll see what happens there after Heat 4. The referee will also be in contact with the pits and the track preparation team as well. In the meantime, we go for a restart of Heat 2, and Piotr Pawlicki is back after his crash when he was taken down by Maciej Janowski. So Kostigov goes off the inside, and what a good job he did of the first lap of Heat 2 before it was stopped. Pawlicki goes in blue off Gate 2, and Varina in yellow off the outside. Can he replicate the flying start he made first time out?
Yeah, it's always the story when you make the first attempt and you make such a good one. It's not a surprise anymore for the guys inside of you, but there's one missing, 2 riders on the inside. Pawlicki might have an opportunity here to rebound after his poor start in the first attempt of this heat number 2. And Kastigov on the inside is going to look pretty handy up there, but Viona on the outside is going to want to replicate that, so let's see what happens as this tape goes up for race number 2.
Restart of Heat 2, Kostigov, Pawlicki and Varina. They get underway. Kostigov lifts off the inside gate, and Varina again makes a good one from the outside. Better one by Pawlicki in blue, and Pawlicki in second got very close to the back wheel there of Varina off the second bend, so lost ground on the exit of bend 2. But Varina here leads from Pawlicki of Kostigov's in third place. Once again a sharp start from the outside gate for the Czechoslovakian rider Kasper Varina, who leads onto lap 2, and he looks comfortable out front.
He does. The track is pretty easy to ride when you are in front. And getting speed up with these guys, it looks like so far, the way the teams are going, this is the second race of the evening here. They're getting pretty spread out here. The track is riding quite well. I don't really know if they can do anything much about it, but the start's very important. Busy weekend for the riders who raced for Czestochowa in the Polish Extraliga, because they were at home last night, and Varina picking up 7 points in their victory over Leszno before they've had to make the trip to Hungary today. So that was hard work travel-wise, but no trouble so far for Kasper Varina, well out in front of Heat 2 as he was leading when the race was stopped in the first place, and he has control in the rerun as well. Pawlicki in second, Kostigov in third. It's a win in heat number 2 for Kasper Varina. Second place goes to Piotr Pawlicki, and Yevgenis Kostigov's in third place. That one pretty much sorted out from the gate there in Heat 2, and the outside start for Varina really working well as far as he was concerned. So 3 points on the board for a rider who's been there or thereabouts for a number of years in this series. Kasper Varina winning Heat 2, second place Piotr Pawlicki, and in third place Yevgenis Kostigov's. Yeah, with the missing rider from the first attempt in this heat number 2, Maciej Janowski is out of this race. There's 3 riders in it. Viona repeats what he did in the first attempt of this heat number 2, got himself out in front from that gate 4, and Pawlicki comes in the blue helmet color to follow him through the first corner. A little bit tight for a second there, couldn't let the bike go. These guys, this is the first time they're on the racetrack in racing conditions, so they've been here practicing earlier on, had some laps around here as the FIM gives them. I think it gives them about 2 minutes on the track each a couple of times, and this was enough here for Kasper Viona to go out there and get that bike set up right from his first race from that outside gate. If this is going to be the pattern, one from the inside, one from the outside, only time will tell. Varina made the final in the opening round last year in Czestochowa, but didn't qualify in the top 5, came through
the SEC Challenge at Daugavpils a month or so ago. We move on to Heat 3, and there is Patrick Dudek in the red helmet colour. We saw him in the hotel at breakfast this morning, looking very relaxed indeed. Anders Thompson rides in blue. This is a strong lineup, by the way, because we have Leon Madsen in white, the double former champion, and we have Rasmus Jensen in yellow. Thompson and Jensen, the two Danes, back in the Speedway Euro Championship. Madsen, a perennial winner, and Patrick Dudek always there or thereabouts. Strong lineup.
Yeah, very, very much so. And if the track gets a little bit dirt, the pole will be handy in that one, but he's got to get out in front of these guys. In today's meeting, we have 5 Poles, 4 Danes, 2 Swedes, and 2 Latvians, 1 Hungarian that's in the thing, and 1 German. So that's a fairly good mix of riders here. But in this one right here, you got 3 Danish riders up against each other.
There's the confirmation that Dudek goes off the inside. Thompson gate 2, Madsen gate 3, Jensen gate 4. Jensen came 6th in this series a couple of years ago, didn't make it in for last year, but can he make use of the outside gate here?
You would think so from watching what happened in the first 2 ones, one from the inside, one from the outside. So the Dudek has a possibility, and this gentleman right here, Rasmus Jensen, is going to look like he's going to be as lucky as Dave if he can get out of that gate 4, but he's got some heavy hitters on the inside of him. One is Anders Thompson in the blue right there at gate number 2, and Leon Madsen just on the outside of him, but Dudek on the inside. Can he make it work?
This is certainly a stacked race early in the Speedway Euro Championship. Heat 3 with 4 being hitted on the track, and away they go, and Dudek off the inside makes a good one. Rasmus Jensen does come across from gate 4, and Rasmus Jensen battling with Dudek, who gets a lovely line there off the turn. Round the outside comes Anders Thompson in blue, and Thompson sails past everyone. What a first lap there by Anders Thompson round the outside. Dudek trying to hit back though off turn 4, and then neck and neck down the home straight. Patrick Dudek back in front here of Anders Thompson, with Jensen in third and Madsen at the back off the pace. That was some first lap, and Patrick Dudek out in front.
Yeah, bring it on. This 384-meter racetrack is it. These guys let it go. Dudek from the inside gets out front, has a little bit of challenge there from Thompson, and Thompson's got the speed to stay with it, but he's running out of time. The guys in the back, look at Leon Madsen right on the very back. Unlucky for him right there, and Rasmussen that had a chance to be there is in that 3rd place as well.
This is quite significant. We saw Mikkel Mikkelsen only take 1 point from his first ride, and we look like we're going to see Leon Madsen no scoring in his first ride, so maybe it might be others involved in the competition this series out in front, and certainly out in front here, Patrick Dudek well clear of Anders Thompson, and they are well clear of the scrap for 3rd place. Round turn 3 and 4 they come then for the final time, and Patrick Dudek wins Heat 3 ahead of Anders Thompson, and it is Rasmus Jensen 3rd and Leon Madsen failing to score. We have seen Madsen occasionally turn it on. Chesterhover last year after a bad start, he turned it round after starting off poorly, but that was not a great one for him, and it's certainly a good one for Patrick Dudek, coming back on the inside of Anders Thompson, who had steamed round the outside on the opening lap. Spectacular stuff there. Dudek wins Heat 3, 2nd Anders Thompson, 3rd Rasmus Jensen, and no points for Leon Madsen.
Heat number 3 brings some surprises, some good racers on the track. They are going forward with Patrick Dudek coming out on top, but he didn't have it all his own way. From the inside, he thought he was going to get a good one as the tapes go up. From on the outside, it's Rasmus Jensen from Denmark. He gets straight over the top. Through the corner, Dudek keeps it really tight, gets lots of drive, putting his back wheel really close to the white curb right there. Just on the outside, Anders Thompson from Denmark is really working it in the first lap of this heat number 3. As they get through the first corner, you can see the drive right there that Dudek gets himself out front, but just on that outside in the blue helmet color. Excellent 3rd corner approach right there on the outside, but Dudek kept it low, gets the drive coming off of turn 4 for the first lap, and sealed the deal in that corner right there and kept on going.
Good stuff there in Heat 3, and there's how close it got between Patrick Dudek and Anders Thompson. No points for Leon Madsen. We will see if gate 3 does turn out to be a graveyard throughout the afternoon, because no one has scored points from there so far today, and the honour in Heat 4 there will go to the wildcard, the local favourite Norbert Magossi, who rides in the white helmet colour. Elsewhere in the lineup, Bartek Kowalski rides in red. He's the other reserve coming in, with Janis Kawadze and Dimitri Berger out of the meeting due to injury. Rider in blue, Norik Bladorn, making his full-time series debut, rode as a wildcard in Gustrov last year, and Timo Lahti rides off the outside in yellow, and he's a rider who comes in with a bit of form. There's Kowalski in red, the Wroclaw youngster, who is quite high up the extra league averages this season, riding in the top 5 for Wroclaw. I would say that many of those points have come at home, but he did impress in the SEC Challenge to make his way towards this meeting, and then as a reserve in the end to get the pick. So Kowalski on the inside, Bladorn gate 2, Magossi gate 3, and Lahti off the outside here.
It'd be an interesting heat number 4 here a little bit of mixed age groups right there with Kowalski just looking handy on that inside, but Lati on the outside could be a good battle.
Heat number 4 then out the start line, and away they go. Kowalski off the inside makes a decent start over Bladorn into the first bend. Round the outside in yellow is Timo Lati, but it's Kowalski here out in front. Kowalski from Bladorn with Lati in third place and Magossi out the back. Yes, you have 20-year-old Norbert Bladorn here and 49-year-old Norbert Magossi in the race, but it's Timo Lati in yellow who tries to come through from the back, looking to send one down the inside there of Norbert Bladorn, but can't do so at the moment. And it is the second series reserve here, Bartek Kowalski, who leads.
Yeah, he's doing well. Just out of the start, got himself in there. And Norbert Bladorn is really trying to keep pace if he can there with Bartek Kowalski out in front. A little bit difficult. The track isn't giving these guys many racing lines right now. We'll have to see after the grade if it helps him out there, but getting out of the start's real important.
Kowalski looking good out in front from the inside gate. Bladorn in second place. Lati in third. Couldn't quite make it from the outside. We haven't seen others do so, but he is still putting a challenge in here on Bladorn with just under a lap to go. Tries to go wide off the second bend. Now look for a cutback, and Bladorn knows he's there. Lati all over the back of him. I can't quite get it done as yet. Kowalski into the final bend with the advantage, and Lati will try and turn back off that turn, and it will be a win for Bartek Kowalski. Second place, Norbert Bladorn, and third, Timo Lati, who couldn't quite make it through there in heat number 4. So Kowalski gets the win there off the inside. I mentioned he has been scoring big points, mainly around the Wrocław circuit this year in the Extra Liga. It's tougher in the top 5 away from home, quite clearly, but that was a decent ride there from the inside gate from the young Pole. Kowalski winning heat 4, second place Norbert Bladorn, and third place Timo Lati.
That's it. This is it. 4 races done in this 384-meter racetrack here at Debrecen in Hungary. And at the end of the day, you know, you got to get out of that start. That's the way you got to do. And Kowalski right there makes an easy job from that inside with Bladorn with him going down that back straightaway. You can just see the back wheel of that number 302 getting himself straight into that first corner. And Timo Lati, I thought would probably be a little bit more handier off that outside gate, but he ended up having to sneak in to find a third place over the wild card Norbert Magossi, which is in here and doing a good job in pace with the boys right there. So maybe he'll get things dialed in a little bit more in his next ride out here. But it was all about the pole that went there from start to finish.
Smooth and stylish out in front. Bartek Kowalski, the winner of heat number 4. So confirmation that Kowalski, Dudek, Varina and Torsel are your opening heat winners. The European Championship is a truly European event in more ways than one. In fact, we have 7 nations competing in the series this year. Let's take a look. The 2024 Tyrrell Speedway Euro Championship features the 7 nations army of competitors, just showing the variety in this exciting series. Poland have 5 riders taking part, many of whom will feel they can be champion, but amazingly, they still await their first gold in the modern era of SEC. Their best results have been second place overall for Jarek Hampel in 2018 and Janusz Kowodze 2 years ago. This year it's Kowodze, Patrick Dudek, Maciej Janowski, Piotr Pawlicki and Kasper Varina who fight for gold. Denmark have been the dominant force in recent years, and with Mikkel Mikkelsen and Leon Madsen back to continue their battle and joined by Anders Thompson and Rasmus Jensen, will they be back on top again this season? Latvian star Andrzej Lebedevs is the other former champion in the lineup, and this time round he's joined by Yevgenis Kostigols, who made it through the SEC Challenge. Former runner-up Václav Minik is back to represent the Czech Republic, and we also welcome back Frenchman Dimitri Berger, subject to injury, and Timo Lati, who last appeared full-time in 2021 and now has a Swedish licence. The 7th nation is Germany, and with Kai Hülkenberg now in the GP, rising star Norbert Bladorn gets his big chance after appearing as a wild card last season at Güstrow. 7 nations, 15 full-time riders, 4 rounds. Who will win the Tyrrell Speedway Euro Championship?
Ladies and gentlemen, I thought we were in Debrecen, Hungary for the first round of Speedway European Championship, but now I think we're in Paris for Fashion Week, as I'm joined by Anders Thompson. Great outfit today, new colors, white and gold, royal colors. Are you the king of Denmark in Speedway European Championship?
I don't know. We will see later on today how it's going. 4 rounds, so it's a long round, you know, so yeah, we will wait and see, but yeah, I'll need to try something new, you know, and my mechanics, we was making some jokes and so on, and I say next time I'll give you a white Kevlar because they don't like to clean, of course, and yeah, here they go.
You got some dirt on you in heat number 3. Obviously, gate 1 and gate 4, which is Patrick Dudek and Rasmus Jensen in heat number 3. Well, they made a great start, but he proved that you can overtake on the distance, on the straight. What happened next?
Yeah, you know, actually I passed also Dudek, but yeah, he had a little bit faster line into the corner than me. I should close him a bit more, but yeah, as you see, they water the track a bit, and it's making it a little bit difficult to really race the bike out there. So we will see if it changes later on today.
So you were almost perfect here during the elimination round before SEC challenge. Is it the same track that you saw here a month ago?
It is the same track, but there's a little bit more material on, and as you see, it's pretty warm today, so they need to water the track a lot, and it make it a little bit slippery, the track.
I see, Anders, I'm sorry, one more question I was going to ask about Mikkel Andersen, your teammate at the Sunne Elite Speedway. He crashed into you not too long ago. How are you feeling? Because there was some speculations about an injury to your shoulder.
Yeah. Of course, I'm taking care of myself a bit. I'm not 100%, but when I get my helmet on and not feel any pain, it's like the medicine for me. Get the helmet on and just focus for the race.
All right, and there's one last question. So you look at the lineup of Speedway European Championship and you say, I can win that. I can be a gold medalist at the end of the season. Is that true or not?
I will do my very best. I see this year the lineup is really strong, so everything can happen. Everybody have 2 wheels, so yeah, keep focused and see what happens.
Best of luck for the rest of the meeting and the season.
Well, good to hear from Anders Thompson. Good to see him back in the Speedway Euro Championship, and whether he's wearing white Kevlars or black Kevlars, the most important thing is that the Kevlars stay on, because if you remember his celebration when he won the Gorzhov Grand Prix a couple of years ago, that was somewhat unique. But he has had bad injuries for a couple of years. I remember him breaking his leg at Glasgow in 2022, and then had that big crash in Latvia as well last year. So he's definitely a rider who's got the ability, Anders Thompson, and I think we would expect to see him up there challenging, would you say, Sam?
Well, I think this is the beginning, so everybody's got a chance. You know, they're going to be looking at the guys that have been there before. We're looking in the pictures here. We got Dudek that's gone out and won one of his, but right alongside of him, you know, got Leon Madsen that's won this championship twice, and he's struggling a little bit. So, you know, you got to find your form. This is so early. You really can't place a winner on any one of them yet, because there's plenty to come here. They're talking about the way the conditions of the track might come to them and might not come to them. The grading's a factor. We got to protect the fans, obviously, with not having too much dust going through them, but at the same time, the riders need a good racetrack, and it is crucial that they don't put too much water on the racing line, give these guys a bit more chances of finding some better lines out there. It is a big track. And these guys will get a lot of speed, so they can get away from another rider if they're struggling to find the pace.
It's early to make judgments, of course, and we've seen 3 races won from the inside gate. We've seen 1 race won from the outside gate. We've seen gate 3 pick up nothing at all so far, so we can't make too many judgments when we see Leon Madsen running a last place there off gate 3, because that might be the case throughout the afternoon. But that's the kind of thing we enjoy doing. So we see Mikkel Mikkelsen and Leon Madsen have dominated over the years. They've not scored big points in their opening races, so it may not just be a 2-horse race.
You can find through the series history that you can afford to have a bad meeting out of the 4.
A mediocre meeting.
A mediocre meeting. You can't have a real bad one, because it will be hard for you to catch back up. But it's a mediocre meeting. So if you score, you know, half a dozen points, and then you make it up by getting double figures everywhere you go, afterwards you have half a chance. But you know, you got to be consistent, and that's the name of the game.
There's confirmation of where we are so far, with 1 race completed for everyone today. So Kowalski, Dudek, Verina and Torsell, the opening 4 race winners. Badorn, Thompson, Pavlitsky and Lebedev's all on 2 points. Remember, top 2 straight to the final, next 4 to the extra heat, the last chance semi-final. It's certainly a relevant point regarding bad meetings and mediocre meetings. Leon Madsen inexplicably scored 4 points in Gustrov last season. It's a venue where he's never won, but he scored 4 points, and that really cost him the title in the straight fight with Mikkelsen, enabled Mikkelsen to really control things all the way to that wet night in Pardubice 9 months ago, and Madsen simply couldn't catch him up. So you can't afford to have a night like that, but if you score, like you say, 6, 7, 8, then that's not so bad. There's gone from the inside gate to have 3 wins so far.
Yeah, you would almost expect that early on, wouldn't you? But is that going to be the pattern? Only time will tell. But the stats show, and there's some fast times right there. Look at Torsell in the first race, so that's all right. You got to give him the credit. It was the first race. And then, you know, they were in the second, you know, but the last race, so it got worse as it was going, didn't it?
But then, of course, you don't. Obviously, that was the fourth race in the block of races, so the track would have been different. Kowalski, obviously a young rider who's not quite so experienced, and so again, it will shake out over when we've seen them 2 or 3 times. We'll get more of an indication on who's going to be on top going through. But they are doing what I would say some quite extensive work, aren't they? We've seen the water truck go round a couple of laps, but we've got 2 tractors also going round as well, and lots also going on in the pits here.
Yeah, it's these guys are able to run a brand new tire every heat, so they will definitely have the wheels stacked up in their corners of their camps, and then, you know, they got to get everything right. They use the fuel that's available from the track so that everybody's got on the same fuel, so there's no chance of anybody, you know, advancing on doing anything with their fuel, if that's possible on a big track, which some guys could be the answer if you can get away with it, but it's just not legal in this sport. So they keep it well maintained and controlled in the pits as the fans are cooling off in these nice warm temperatures.
It really is a hot day. 29 degrees was the report before. I think we were told it may go above 30 this afternoon. Yesterday was also hot, albeit there were a couple of downpours during the day as well, with no sign of that at all this afternoon. And so it very much is Sunshine Speedway for the fans here who don't get to see many regular meetings nowadays. As of course we mentioned, it's the only regular venue, speedway venue in Hungary. So they do stage some of these types of events with the SAC and the Grand Prix qualifiers and so on, but not too many Hungarian regular riders. So they are trying to launch a 250cc program to try and bring through a next generation. And of course, venues like this will be absolutely crucial they maintain it and keep staging big events here. Yeah,
well, there's 3 stages, isn't there, a series as far as the GPs go, isn't it? They got GP 4, 3, 2. And then you get up to the big boys, and that's what these guys are all fighting for, to get into an automatic seat in 2025 as we get ready to approach this heat number 5, which Leon Madsen will be starting on the outside here, and he would want to be making sure that he gets some points because he's scored nothing so far.
He hasn't scored anything so far, and of course that is his series total so far, 0 at this stage. Long way to go. Normally the series gets 1. Obviously last year part of it's the final round didn't complete due to the weather, so we didn't quite have the full number of races. But normally in a complete series you're looking at a total in the early 50s to be the Speedway Euro champion, and so that is you can get 18 in one particular meeting, so a maximum of 72, but normally early 50s is the kind of benchmark total to be champion.
So start building those points, boys. There's 1 point from Timo Lahti on the inside, coming in red. On the outside, which we're watching Leon Madsen coming there. There was 1 winner so far from that outside gate and 3 from the inside. So those 2, you might say, are the favorites, with Jakob Dorsel, a race winner, coming off gate number 2, right next to Timo Lahti on the inside. And you got Kostigov coming from gate number 3. We're looking at him right now, and he's got 1 point on the board on his side.
There is Timo Lahti off the inside gate, who we first saw in Voyens in 2019 in the Speedway Euro Championship, but finished 7th in 2020 and has found some decent form of late. Kostigov goes in the white helmet colour. You saw Jakob Dorsel in blue, the experienced Swede now. Jakob Dorsel, 30 years of age, and Leon Madsen there, the Dane, in yellow off the outside gate, the double Speedway Euro champion. Won it in both 2018 and 2022, trying to go for his 3rd title, trying to stop Mikkel Mikkelsen or anybody else along the way.
Yeah, this has just been groomed, so we'll see what they've done, how it affects the riders. There's going to be another set of 4 races. This is heat number 5. And with Leon Madsen from that outside scoring no points, he'll be desperate to get on the scoreboard in this heat number 5. But he's got 3 other contenders on the inside of him. Dorsel coming off of a race win, as we've already mentioned, in the blue. Would love to be able to make that gate number 2 another positive point for himself, to get 3 points from there. But on the inside, Timo Lahti, that came off the outside in his first races on the inside now.
Lahti on the inside, Dorsel gate 2, Kostigov gate 3, Madsen gate 4. Here we go then with heat 5 in Debrecen. Off go the tapes. Timo Lahti off the inside makes the start, and Madsen does not really make it from the outside. In fact, he's going to squeeze out there by Kostigov's drama here. Leon Madsen off the outside gate at the back. It's Madsen, Lahti with the advantage. Dorsel in second, Kostigov's in third, and Leon Madsen so far looking a shadow of what we know he can do in the Speedway Euro Championship at the back. Dorsel, who won his first ride, is leading. Lahti's leading on with Thorstein in second place to win his first ride. Kostigov's in third, but Leon Madsen here at the back.
Yeah, in that first quarter, you said shadow. That was Kostakov just in front of Leon Madsen, and Madsen was in the shadow and couldn't recover from there. But right out front from the inside gate, Timo Latte makes a brilliant start there. Jakob Torssell protected his second place by just making sure he turned in the first corner and has basically followed the leader at this stage.
Latte makes a slight mistake there off the fourth bend, just went a bit square mid-turn, but managed to recover the situation ahead of Jakob Torssell. Kostakov still runs third. Leon Madsen at the moment has got no answer to it, and this is bad news for Leon Madsen's bid for a third Speedway Euro Championship title if he no scores from 2 rides. Timo Latte round the final turn to win heat number 5. He takes it over Jakob Torssell. Kostakov's in third, and Madsen has no points from 2 rides at the start of the Speedway Euro Championship, and nobody expected that. Timo Latte takes the win then, now riding as a Swede. He takes the 3 points. Jakob Torssell, also a Swede of course, he takes second and moves on to 5 points. Good solid start to the meeting for him, but Kostakov's there taking third place over Madsen. Latte, Torssell, Kostakov's the result of heat 5.
Very, very difficult, but we're just seeing them after a track grade. The guys approach heat number 5, getting themselves set up for this heat, and when the tapes finally go up, the inside gate gets it first. Timo Latte gets him out in front right there in the blue. You see Jakob Torssell that came off of a race win. This is his second attempt out there to score the points. Could not get over the top of Timo Latte. He made sure he covered it, got it in there, but just on the outside in the yellow, you can see right there, Madsen's looking to get himself in, but Kostakov is right there, and he had no answer in that first corner. But as the race continues, you can see Timo Latte trying to get the grips of this racetrack. The bike gets himself a little bit into trouble, but he's way out in front, and so far that's what we're seeing. You get out in front out of the start, you can make your distance on this 384-meter track. Will the racing come to the riders? Only time will tell.
Latte moves on to 4 points, Torssell moves on to 5, Madsen stays on 0. Heat 6 is next up. There is Norik Ladorn off the inside gate with 2 points to his name so far. Next to him in blue is Patrick Dudek, a winner first time out. Next to him in white is Mikkel Mikkelsen, who goes off the what appears to be a difficult gate 3 so far, and he's only scored 1 point so far. And Mats Janowski, who was excluded from his first ride, he goes in yellow. So I think when you have a series where you change the tracks around, you go to different venues, different places, you never know quite what to expect, and the riders who have got things in their books from previous visits to places they go to all the time, they can't really call upon that, and we are seeing some big names here that are struggling early on.
Yeah, that page is empty, and they're starting to gather it right now, populated with different setups, and right now you got to make it happen. Magic from Janowski from that outside has got it a chance now. They've graded the track. They've had one heat. Usually there's a bit of a berm, I should say, or a little bit more dirt just out where the racing line's a little bit wider, so it might come in his favor. But, you know, Norik Lador from that inside would think this is a good place to be. Dudek coming right next to Lador with the race win under his belt. If he can just get over the top of him, he's got a chance to get another 3 more points, but this is what it's all about. The racers lead number 6.
Heat 6 at the start line. Lador, Dudek, Mikkelsen and Janowski. Underway they go. Dudek lifting off gate 2, but gets there in front of Lador and Patrick Dudek here ahead of Mikkel Mikkelsen, with Mats Janowski sweeping around the outside, moving through into second place past Mikkel Mikkelsen. Dudek with the advantage. Second is Janowski. Dudek swings out wide there off Ben 4, gets a decent line off the corner, and Patrick Dudek with the lead here over Mats Janowski, with Mikkelsen third, and just like Leon Madsen, Mikkel Mikkelsen's not got the speed he wants here, lifts off the bend, and that might cost him the place to Lador. Not quite, but Mikkelsen's still in third place.
Wow, this is still unraveling. These guys are moving a little bit wider on the track now. Dudek says, you know, I'm going to get out there. Bike pulled him there a little bit, but now he's comfortably out there chasing the dirt lines.
Dudek looks like he's got things really set up for this circuit. He looks very convincing indeed out in front, whilst others are scrambling for setups and haven't found the key to it so far. There's no doubt that Patrick Dudek has so far. He clearly leads on to his last lap. He's also getting a good solid fallout behind him in second place after a good move on the opening 2 turns. But Mikkel Mikkelsen's not got the speed he wants in third place, and Norik Ladorn here out the back. But Dudek looks good out in front, the former Grand Prix rider. He takes it. Dudek wins heat 6 from Janowski. Mikkelsen over the line in third place with Ladorn out the back, and I've said it before, but we've seen a 2-horse race really over the recent years. The 2 have dominated, have been Madsen and Mikkelsen. So far today, that is certainly not the case. They've only scored 2 points between them from 4 rides. Dudek is off to a flyer here in Debrecen. He has won his first 2 outings and has scored a maximum of 6 points so far. Mats Janowski on the board there with second place, Mikkel Mikkelsen third, and Ladorn out the back.
Yeah, well, maybe the draw might have just helped Dudek just that little bit. You know, in this heat number 6, he was drawn, and he's now got gate number 2, and what a start he made. He got straight over the top of Norik Ladura, which ain't a bad gator, you know, in most of the cases. He's pretty strong in there, but on the outside, Majikanovsky, for his second time on the track, first time on the deck. Well, not really him on the deck, but he put somebody on the deck, and he had to go back to the pits early on, but he's in here for his first 4 laps on the outside in the yellow helmet color, trying to put the pressure on Dudek. Dudek goes a little bit wide, coming off of turns 3 of the first lap, and then realizes that there's a little bit of grip there. You see Mikkelsen right there trying to find that grip as well, but he's not with these guys out of the start, and that's what the trend seems to be. If you're not with them out of the start, you're not in the race.
Well, Mikkel Mikkelsen only 2 points from his first 2 rides. He'll be hoping that gates come to him later in the meeting. He's got the outside in his next ride in Heat 10. Gate 3 is the one that's been really struggling so far, only 2 points so far from Gate 3. And the man on Gate 3 in Heat 7 is Piotr Pawlicki, who of course had that crash with Janowski in his first ride, but picked up 2 points in the restart. It's quite a strong lineup once again. Anders Thompson rides off the inside in red, 2 points first time out. Winner first time out, Bartek Kowalski coming into line there in blue off Gate 2. Pawlicki is off Gate 3, and Václav Milik is off the outside here.
So their second time on the track now. The first time they would have gone back after that, made some adjustments, thinking that they got to get something right. I would say that most of them wouldn't have left their bike the same. They'd still be chasing something. And as they get themselves prepared for this heat number 7, and these riders will all get a second attempt on this 384-meter racetrack. See if they got the track key, as you mentioned, and that's important right there. Anders Thompson on the inside will be pretty handy there. Milik on the outside is good with his gating. I haven't seen much of that this year since he was one of my riders at Birmingham. But
sucked him something.
Let's see what he does here. But Pawlicki is one of my riders, and he is on gate number 3. Let's see if he can get out of there and stay out of trouble. But with Kowalski in blue, if he can follow the trend of Dudek, maybe he'll be in front.
Heat 7 out the start line here in Debrecen, away they go. Thompson off the inside makes the start. A contact going into the bend, and Pawlicki gets a nudge from Kowalski. Milik has made a decent job there off gate 4 to come through into second place. The door is closed by Anders Thompson. Pawlicki steaming down the inside of Kowalski for third place. Milik out of shape on turn 4 as he swings out wide. He's still got a good exit though. Václav Milik almost getting round Anders Thompson there. Competitive stuff here, and the Pawlicki and Kowalski are still strapping away for third place. Milik with speed, but Thompson with the lead.
Yeah, Milik has speed. He got a little bit of a nudge in this corner right here the last time through. It gave him some positive forward things. He squared the corner off. He's underneath. He's trying to get there. If he can get underneath Thompson, the Dane out in front right there, so don't make a mistake. The boys are all moving out into the dirt now, so there's some different lines.
And Pawlicki is finding some speed. He finally got the better of Kowalski in the scrap for third, and Milik's a bit all over the place in second. Pawlicki pegs the inside and tries to force his way through. Piotr Pawlicki and Václav Milik scrapping away for second place behind Anders Thompson, and now Pawlicki goes for a wider line on bends 1 and 2, covered off by Václav Milik. It's Thompson with the advantage. Milik in second place, Pawlicki in third, trying once again round turn 3 and 4, and he lifts off the bend. Can he get round? Thompson with the win. Second place for Václav Milik. Piotr Pawlicki doing all he could there in third, but did not make it through. So a decent second place there for Václav Milik, but a good win for Anders Thompson off the inside gate. Lots of bumping and barging going into the first bend, and indeed battling on with Pawlicki and Kowalski for a couple of laps, and that really cost Pawlicki the chance to get to Václav Milik in the end. Confirmation of the result there of Heat 7 to win for Anders Thompson. Second, Václav Milik. Third, Piotr Pawlicki, but that was good competitive stuff there.
Well, Marcin had the opportunity to interview Andres Thompson earlier on, and with those white and gold leathers, he might be the king of Denmark after tonight, the way he's going. But he come off that inside gate, a perfect place to be right now on this racetrack. If you can command a good start, go through the first corner and be in front, going to look how wide he came off that corner in turn 2. And right there, leaves the door open. When Milik come from the outside, he makes a really good start, gets himself a little bit wide. He knows he's got to get back to the inside line if he can. He does, as we see Thompson move out there, and he has a half a chance of coming underneath him, but just quite didn't have the speed. But in the first corner, or in the turns 2, or in the turns 3 and 4, he just had a little bit of a glitch right there, but that kind of helped him, didn't it? Kind of put him in a position where he might get around him right there. So we thought he might have had the key to this track right there, but the way it unveiled there, he did get a little bit of pressure from Pawlicki as a race continued right there, but at the end, came in on second over Pietro Pavitsky, trying to find his form, get himself into a little bit of trouble coming off that last corner.
Good job we missed that back wheel there. Anyway, Heat 8 is next up. That was harem-scarum stuff at times there in Heat 7. Heat 8 next up with Lebedev's off the inside with 2 points so far. First time winner. There is Lebedev's on the inside gate in the red helmet cover, the Latvian, the 2017 Speedway Euro champion. First race winner, Kasper Varina. First ride winner goes in blue, 3 points to his name so far. Rasmus Jensen in white, difficult gate so far, and in yellow off the outside, the wild card, Norbert Magossi. So Lebedev sat here on the inside, and Varina quite nicely placed too.
Yeah, the person that's probably got the most experience around here is sitting on that outside, 49-year-old. He's been on the podium on this track in the Hungarian individuals 5 different times, but you know the age is against him a little bit with the guys on the inside of him. We got a winner of the Speedway European Championships in 2017, Andres Lebedev's on the inside, coming to make sure that he's not going to make any mistakes on that inside gate.
Lebedev's inside, Varina at gate 2, Jensen gate 3, Magossi on the outside. Heat 8 here will complete the second block of races in Debrecen. Away they go. Nice start by Lebedev there off the inside, gets to the bend there in front of Kasper Varina. Round the outside in white goes Rasmus Jensen, moving through into second place. Got a really fast line there off the turn. Now can Jensen turn it back to move inside. Lebedev's not quite up on turn 3 and 4. Lebedev moves out onto a fast outer line there to lead on to lap 2. Second place is Rasmus Jensen. Third is Kasper Varina with Magossi out the back, and Lebedev's here from the inside gate. He leads.
Yeah, he does. I can tell you what, that Rasmus Jensen was looking for that inside to work for him right there, as Andres Lebedev made sure he stayed up on the high line, which you get a little bit smoother ride right there. Jensen's coming on the inside. He was taking it in there, got a little bit of bumpy, which gave us a chance to see Fiona maybe getting in there, but the way the race is settling down is pretty clear that Andres Lebedev from the inside gate is going to take this win.
Got to say, Jensen did a decent job there. He's off gate 3, got plenty of speed there on turns 1 and 2 to get himself into contention. So we won't be too unhappy with second place from this race, but Andres Lebedev's with the lead on the back straight for the final time, with Jensen in second place, with Varina in third. They are fairly spread out here to come off the final turn, and Lebedev is the race winner. Lebedev takes it over Jensen, with Varina third and Magossi at the back. So Lebedev gets 5 points from 2 rides, gets the 3 there for the win. Very much up amongst the early contenders. Jensen gets a decent 2 points on the board, and Varina gets 1 to add to the 3 he took first time out. Confirmation of the result then of Heat 8. Andres Lebedev the winner. Second place Rasmus Jensen. Third Kasper Varina and Magossi out the back, and that leaves Dudek as the clear meeting leader, with Torsell, Lebedev and Thompson all on 5 points.
Yeah, some new faces. Patrick Dudek in the past, you know, he's just missing out on some of the competitions, but nice to see him on the leaderboard. But in this, watch this Heat number 8 go out there from that inside with their Lebedevs. He's been a winner here in this series before. Got himself out in front right there. And the Dane, Rasmus Jensen, really did a good job as he got from that gate number 3 with the 67 on his back, gets into the high line coming out of turn 2. Plenty of speed when you turn the bike into the corner, thinking he might be able to get there, but just knew that there was no chance, but stuck to the very, very inside as Lebedev goes to the mid-track where the boys are getting some really good smooth rides, and just checked out after that one to win this Heat number 8.
He gets the 3 points there, and is, as I say, one of 3 riders on 5 points from 2 rides. The one unbeaten rider is Patrick Dudek. He'll be going off gate 3 in Heat 12, so if he gets through that race, then we might start to talk about him in the sort of terms of looking really very strong indeed. But certainly Dudek does look good so far here today. As I say, we saw him before the meeting this morning, and looks happy enough with life at the moment, and certainly looking that way on the circuit. Yeah,
and what a start he made from that gate number 2. That thing exploded out of the start, so he's got a good setup. And if he can continue on with those blistering good starts, he might be the guy that will come out on the shiny end of all this right there. But Lebedev's in the pictures right there is not letting anybody down, or himself. His team are working on it. I did go up to him and ask him earlier on, you know, what do you do when you chase a setup in these heats conditions? You know, what do you do? He says, you know what, my engine tuner's got my bike working really good for me. I only just got to adjust the jet a little bit, and that's been the trend so far. So if I can stick to that this evening, it'll be great. It was good to see Lebedev stay in the Extraliga in Poland this year. Of course, relegated with Krosno last year, but went to Leszno, who are finding the going tough. But I think he's realised that you've got to be in that top league if you're going to really compete in Speedway Euro Championship, and certainly in the Grand Prix as well this year. You've got to be facing these big boys on a more regular basis. That's what he's doing, and I think Lebedev's in the last year or so, we've seen him getting back to perhaps where he was maybe 6-7 years ago when he was really challenging for this title. You know, if you put him on a I've seen him in Germany where there's, all right, maybe not the best international riders there. He was probably one of the better ones, and he went out there and was so superior at that venue. This is at Pocking, one of the track where I had my success as a world champion back in '93. And they had a reunion there, and he won that meeting, and he won it with, pretty much a lot of confidence. He controlled that meeting, basically. So he does have the experience of winning, obviously, because he's been the champion of the SEC in the past, 2017. But at the end of the day, he is a contender.
He certainly is. Let's head down to the pits and join Martin.
And I am now joined by Timo Lahti. Timo, great start to the season on your side, both in Denmark, Sweden. Also, you won heat in the second round here. So how are you feeling at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, so far everything has been going good, and I'm satisfied for the most of the season so far. And the first heat today I missed the start a little bit, but then we changed the setup a bit, and now I felt fast and good from the gate.
So we saw you a couple of heats ago. Next time we're going to see you in heat number 12. That's 6 heats that you're missing out. Do you expect track conditions to change a lot during that time?
No, I expect nothing. Let's see when I get to the track. Try to make the same start as last heat, and it should be good.
Awesome. I need to ask you one more question. I know it's a matter of last year, but some of our viewers, I'm sure, are surprised to see the Swedish flag right here. So what's the reason? What's the reasoning behind the decision of switching from Finnish license to Swedish license?
It's a difficult question, but I feel they are much more professional in Sweden. Speedway is a big sport in Sweden, and that's what I like. I like to be professional. I like the work they do in Sweden. It's unfortunate, but the Speedway is what it is in Finland, and I have citizenship of both countries, so it's only my choice.
I see that must have been a difficult decision on your side. One last question, speaking of being professional, how does a professional deal with a heat on a sunny day like this here in Hungary? Do you have any way to cool yourself down after a heat?
No, I've been practicing in sauna back at home, so...
Was that a Finnish sauna?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so lots of water, just staying in the shade. Is that your way of keeping yourself calm and cool this meeting?
Yeah, that's it. And unfortunately, we don't have a lake here which we could go after sauna, but yeah, it's okay.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Best of luck for the rest of the meeting.
Yeah, good to hear from Timo Lahti, back in the Speedway Euro Championship this season and scoring 4 points from his first 2 rides, and a rider who's been in form in his league racing in the last few weeks, so trying to bring that into this meeting. Track preparation taking place. Reminder, it's a 4-round series. As always, the Speedway Euro Championship. We go to Gruzons in mid-July. We also have the regular trip to Gustrov coming up as well. That's in August. And we're back at Slasky Stadium, Horzów in September. Of course, we rode there a couple of times in 2018 and 19 prior to the pandemic, but Horzów is back on the schedule this year as well. So great variety in the tracks that we're going to visit. There won't be another one like this. We know Gustrov is, of course, very different to everything else. One man-made track as well. So four circuits that are real interest in, and to be the champion, you've got to be at least quite good at all of them.
You do. We've looked back at it, haven't we, Dave? We've seen that. You can have a mediocre meeting, but at the end of the day, you can't let one completely go away from you, so you got to be consistent.
Dudek with 6 points so far. Thompson, Torsell and Lebedev's all on 5. Lahti and Verina on 4. They're the top 6 at this early stage of proceedings, with Kowalski, Jensen and Pawlicki just behind. Yep, I go back again to the fact that Madsen scored 4 points in Gustrov last year, out of absolutely nowhere, and that was the clinching factor in the championship that meant he wasn't going to win at the expense of Mikkel Mikkelsen. Of course, Janos Kowodze missed the first round last year in Czestochowa due to injury, and the same has happened to him again this year, and then he misses round 1. It's pretty much impossible to win the championship if you miss a round, but you can get yourself into the top 5. So
yeah, well, you're looking at the way the scoreboard is right now. You got 2 heavy contenders at the bottom scoring the points.
And there's
right there.
confirmation on Dudek, how well he's going.
Yeah, there you go. Those are the speeds that these guys have getting around this track. So 65.8 seconds is Dudek. But, that I wouldn't read too much into that, would you? Because, those are track conditions after the grade, and what you're doing right now, the grade in the track. You might find a little bit more speed if you're in the first.
He did that in heat 6, so that was that was the second race after the grade.
Which is better because the track has already got the water off of it, and you got a little bit more consistency on the outside, and you get going. Well, there's the stats from the gates so far. There's only one winner outside of the inside with the blue. Well, there's two actually, yellow and blue. But that just goes to show what the inside is, how favored that is at the moment.
And from gate 3, not only no wins, but only 5 points so far. Reaction time, Václav Milik was the quickest so far. We get the measurements on the list. Piotr Pawlicki also pretty good. So a tenth of a second or a tenth and a half of a second, your reaction time off the start line.
Yeah, wow.
Tell me, if you'd had the access to this sort of information back in your day, Sam, because there is far more now with transponders and whatever else all round, would you have been downloading data during the meeting and looking at parameters and trails and all sorts, or would you try and...
I personally probably don't know that.
There's that VMAX, by the way.
Yeah, there we go. And I did label that Anders Thomas would have been one of the fastest ones out there, but he's quite not yet.
I think pre-meeting I predicted 120, and you said 125, so we'll see. They might get quicker, of course, you never know.
Yeah. So it's one of those things, the technology today, I mean, if it's available, a rider will use it. In my time, it wasn't available, and I was pretty much getting my seat experience and figuring out what it felt like out there. But I do watch the modern riders now. I mean, some of the riders that I work with at the Birmingham, I don't want to mention any of them because I don't want them to think that I'm paying attention. You know what I mean? They'll watch a rerun of a race because they can get access to that on their phone
with the streaming.
With the streaming. So basically, they've done a race, come in here, and I look at them looking at their phone. I go, and I work like, wow, he's looking at his read. So he's making decisions off of what he sees himself doing on the rerun of the race. I'm going, wow, okay. So the seat of the pants side of things, maybe the confirmations in, what he felt on the seat of his pants out of the start, and what he sees on the actual footage.
Really interesting how it's evolved over the years, and of course you're now seeing the other side of it. Now you're a regular team manager as well, so. Getting to grips with the modern day speedway rider as well, and seeing how they react to different situations and how they react to wins and defeats or track incidents. It must be quite fascinating.
I've noticed also too that the professionalism as a rider is different than it was in my time.
Okay.
They really do have a team around them, and a rider, a modern time rider, relies on that team. Where I was the team, I was the director of my destiny, let's say. If I went to a foreign country, I was the one that overlooked my bikes after the mechanics worked on it, whether it be the carburetor, the clutches, the levers, and all the stuff that helped me react at the start line. I made sure they were right. The modern riders now pull up thinking, is it right? Because they don't know, maybe they're not taking their carburetors with them to...
So someone's done it for them, or someone said, we've done this. And
then they have to, but then if it fails on them, their team loses because the bike mechanical side is letting them down, and it takes them 2 or 3 races to figure out, well, it's the bike the problem, not me. And to reassure yourself, you got to be able to. There's some riders got a good team and they don't have to worry about it. Other riders don't have the best team when they go into foreign countries, and it is a problem.
And you must find that riders react in different ways just simply to events on the circuit, and you may have to talk to a rider in a different way too. Some will need the arm around them, and some will need the stronger G-up, if you like, because some of them will get too high, and some perhaps won't show it so much.
These days you can share some information, and sometimes sharing that information just confirms that maybe you're going the right way or not, and some riders like to talk to other riders on the team, and as me as a manager, I insist they talk to each other to make sure that they're all on the same kind of page on what they're doing. But if one's got it wrong and we're all got it wrong, then who's right. So
yeah. Well, you've been getting some things right in recent weeks. You've had a couple of wins, so you're getting there, and you've signed a world number 2 as well. So you've got Mr. Lindgren in charge. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, anyway, we're looking forward to it. Anyway, these races now are about ready to get going.
Track grading is being complete, so the rider's being pushed off for heat number 9, which features Mats Janowski, Norbert Magossi, Jakob Torsau, and Anders Thompson. So 2 of the riders on the 5-point mark in the early stage clash in heat 9, along with Janowski, who's trying to make up ground after being excluded from his first ride, and has got 2 so far, and has got the inside gate. There is Anders Thompson, will be going off the outside. Rider who you do associate normally with black and gold colours when he's racing in individual contests, but going with the white look today. Jakob Torsell there in the white helmet colour, and that will leave Magossi, the wild card, going in blue, and Matsianowski in the red helmet colour. There he is off the inside for heat number 9.
The way the pattern's been, you would think Janowski's got this heat number 9 sealed, coming from the inside gate. He did have some pace, just wasn't able to get in the first corner with the guys, and unfortunately had a bit of a coming together in his first outing, and got no points from that one as he was disqualified. Torsell coming from that gate number 3, he would be one that was thinking, you know, this is one he's got to make that work for him, doesn't he? With Anders Thompson, they're just coming into a freshly groomed racetrack, so the outside gate might not be so favorable. It hasn't showed me that yet. It's still the inside gate that's the one.
And that inside gate being held by Matsianowski for this heat 9. There is a confirmation of the scores they've had so far, and also their speeds and reaction times in their races so far. And you can see that Torsell and Thompson off the outside 2 gates, they have 5 points so far. As we've said, some of those certainly the speeds, it can depend on what the track conditions are when they go out, whether they're going out after a grade or not. And of course they are now going out very much after a grade, as the clock is counting down on the riders for heat 9. We have about 20 seconds to go, looking at the 2-minute clock as the Star Marshal gets them into order. Janowski on the inside, Magossi on gate 2, Torsell gate 3, and Thompson at gate 4. Third block of races about to get underway here in Hungary. Heat number 9 at the start line. Away they go, and Matsianowski off the inside, battling with Jakob Torsell, and gets the bend in front. Now once again in yellow, Anders Thompson gets a good run round the bend. Can he get through into second place past Jakob Torsell? I think he can. So Janowski here leads from Thompson. And Thompson going wide off that top turn with Torsell in third place. Inside gate certainly working to good effect for Matsianowski. He's got the race lead, but Anders Thompson's got plenty of speed there in second place.
Yeah, interesting to see Janowski. He went straight for the middle of the track, and he's continued to stay there. When he was coming around, staying to the second lap, he did go a little bit on the inside, but he's pulling out there. Look at Thompson just getting some speed up there. He might have a chance of going around him the way he's going.
Thompson's got more speed here than the race leader Matsianowski as they go into the third bend for the third time. Now can he use that speed to move through? He's looking to turn back there off bend forward. Still Matsianowski with the advantage, but once again Thompson will take it wide on turns 1 and 2. That time Janowski rode much wider himself, and that worked out well for him. Janowski over Thompson into the final bend. Thompson trying to go wide one more time, and Matsianowski has the advantage. Thompson put himself really wide there off the final turn, and Janowski wins it from Thompson with Torsell in third place and Magossi out the back. Certainly Anders Thompson has the pace in the bike, but Matsianowski made a bit of a tactical move there mid-race as to where he was going to place the bike, and it did work out well because Anders Thompson was certainly gaining ground on him on laps 2 and 3, but Janowski managed to fend him off and take the 3 points to take him on to 5 points, and moves at the moment into the top 6 of this afternoon's standings. But of course several riders do have a race in hand on Magic. Heat number 9, a win for Maciej Janowski, second place for Anders Thompson, third place Jakob Torsell. That's the result of heat 9. And there's confirmation. Janowski, Thompson, Torsell moves Janowski on to 5 points, and it moves Thompson on to 7. That makes him the current meeting leader.
It just goes to show the stats don't lie. That inside gate is definitely working, so we got another victory with Janowski in the red right there, with Torsell kind of giving himself a bit of a chance there, but Andreas Thompson from the outside, the Dane, made a really good approach to the first corner, stayed really high, and just let the bike do the work there. Just on the inside, the pole is getting the grips right there, but then you can see that Janowski had to think a lot of going in as this race started unfolded, with Thompson trying to get the grips of that outside. He had plenty of speed and was able to pace Janowski down throughout the whole race. Janowski was swapping lines a little bit, but he found the formula, stayed mid-track, and just covered his ground and come across the finish line in first place.
Janowski certainly back in contention after the first ride exclusion, so let's see if he can back that up in his next couple of outings. Heat 10 is next up with the 2 minutes counting down. We are actually waiting for Jonas Kostigos, who's just come onto the circuit with a minute to go. He'll be in the blue helmet colour in this one. With Rasmus Jensen going off the inside. There is Kostigos, who's made it onto the track in plenty of time, as it turned out. So off the inside gate there, Rasmus Jensen with 3 points so far. this afternoon. Kostigov's on gate 2. He has got 2 points. Bartek Kowalski, who won his first ride, then ran a last place in his second. He has the unfavoured gate 3. And Mikkel Mikkelsen, big race for him off the outside gate here. 2 points so far for the defending and 3-time champion. Can Mikkelsen put himself back in contention here?
You would think so. That outside guy might be the formula right now. After the grade, then one race, you get a little bit of dirt on the outside, but with Rasmus Jensen on that inside, and Kostiskov up right there in gate number blue, gate number 2. When they go into this first corner, it's anybody's race now, the way it's looked back at the last couple of rounds. So Mikkelsen might have a chance now.
Mikkelsen in yellow here. Jensen inside. Kostigov's gate 2. Kowalski gate 3, and away they go. There's Rasmus Jensen in red neck in the gate. Mikkel Mikkelsen was laughed into the first bend. He's going to try and slingshot round the outside and goes from 4th to 2nd. You've got the veteran Kowalski and of Kostigov's into turn 3. But Rasmus Jensen from the inside leads. Mikkel Mikkelsen pulling a big line round the outside off bend 4. Here comes Mikkel Mikkelsen. Sensational move there by the defending champion. What a ride by Mikkel Mikkelsen round the outside of Rasmus Jensen to take the advantage, and Mikkel Mikkelsen is back in the meeting.
He's got the speed now. He knew exactly where he wanted to be. He didn't care what happened out of the start. He drove that outside line and committed to it. Look at the distance he's leaving the other 3 riders, and it's not even halfway over this race.
Well, Mikkelsen was last going into bend 1. He was then in 2nd place on bend 3. Then he kept it round the outside to get the better of Rasmus Jensen. Jensen's taking it wide off the 4th turn. He actually went too wide in that situation. Maintains the 2nd place is Kowalski, in 3rd over Kostigovs, but Mikkel Mikkelsen is getting himself right back in play. He is a mile clear here in heat 10 after that passing move, and the champion is certainly back in business. Mikkel Mikkelsen winning heat 10. That's the ride of the day so far. Mikkelsen takes it over Rasmus Jensen with Bartek Kowalski in 3rd place, and Yevgenis Kostigovs at the back. Spectacular stuff there by the defending champion. Gets his first win of the Speedway Euro Championship season, and does it in style, going from 4th to 2nd off the 2nd bend with a good outside move, and then keeping the outside going to get round the outside of Rasmus Jensen. Mikkelsen the winner, Jensen 2nd, Kowalski 3rd. Great ride by Mikkel Mikkelsen.
No doubt about it. He went back to the pits and he readjusted things, knowing that gate 4 was his next position at the start line. And boy, did he make that work. He got himself dedicated to that outside line. The bike gets in there. Jensen's on the inside. He makes sure that inside gate's going to be his. He keeps it tight on the pole, but just on that outside, Mikkelsen said, wait a minute, get the bike geared up, throw it in the dirt. Here we go. We can see Rasmus Jensen on that favorite inside gate, on the outside right there. Mikkel Mikkelsen lets the bike go. He starts building pace. He knows his only chance is to keep it up high line. How wide did he go? He had his own other racetrack going into that turns 3 and 4 and built up that momentum. And from that point on, he never looked back, and that bike was working. The rest of the boys busted it out for the minor places, but at the end of the day, it was all about Mikkelsen, the champion of the 2024, taking control of this heat number 10.
Mikkel Mikkelsen winning heat 10 superbly, and on to 5 points in the meeting so far. Moving on to heat 11, which features Kasper Verina in red. Massive race for Leon Madsen, who goes in blue. Václav Milik in white, and Ronnie Bladorn in yellow. Madsen yet to score so far, and really you need, well, normally you say double figures, but certainly 9 to have a chance of top 6 on the day. He's going to need multiple race wins. He can't afford to drop anything else out, but Verina sat there off the inside. Madsen, what is he thinking now?
He will not think he's going to have it his own way, the way things have been going, but if he can turn things around, now's the time to do it.
Certainly is. Madsen has been very honest in the press about his struggles in certain departments this season. He's certainly flying high in Poland, but the Grand Prix is a struggle for him at the moment, not getting the results he wanted. He was talking actually about not enjoying Speedway, about really only doing the Grand Prix for his daughters. There's clearly issues going on behind the scenes, and credit to him and to Mikkel for the way they've opened up on that sort of stuff, because it's also such an important topic for everyone in real life. But this is real life heat number 11 of the inside Verina, gate 2, Madsen, away they go, and Verina and Madsen into the first bend round the outside. In yellow goes Norrin Bladorn. Verina has the advantage, and Bladorn gets second here over Madsen, with Milik in 3rd place, and that's how they go into the 3rd bend, with Kasper Verina out in front. Bladorn 2nd, and Leon Madsen going wide off the 4th turn, whereas Mikkel Mikkelsen really found a slingshot round turn 4 to get around the outside. Leon Madsen so far cannot find the key to the Debrecen circuit, and he's currently mired in 3rd place.
Yeah, he does not got the thing hooked up. He did not make a good enough gate in the first corner to get himself in, be able to use what part of the racetrack he really wanted to do. That is Leon Madsen I talked about. But straight away, Casper Viona is making sure that the inside gate is coming to him, as it's been the favorite so far this evening.
I think Verina fancies himself for a good run in the Speedway Euro Championship this year. Certainly his time could be now, and he's got the lap to go before he wins heat 11. Madsen moving into challenge here for second place on Bladorn. It was very tight there into the second turn, but Bladorn closed him off and then moves clear on the back straight for the final time. They certainly aren't going to catch Casper Verina way out in front. He's off the fourth turn with the lead and the victory. It's a win for Casper Verina, and it's second place for Norrit Bladorn over Leon Madsen, who will not be making the race-off or the final here this evening. So he is going to be having to catch up big time in the remaining rounds of the Speedway Euro Championship. Casper Verina making a really impressive start to proceedings this season. 7 points from 3 rides, 2 race wins. That puts him top of the leaderboard as things stand. He takes the victory out of heat number 11. Bladorn gets a decent 2 points there for second place. Madsen gets on the score sheet with third, and Václav Minich at the back.
Yeah, well, coming up in heat number 12, the man that's been perfect so far, Patrick Dudek, will be coming out of gate number 3, but reflecting on the fact that this heat 11, that's what it's all about with Casper Viona coming from that inside gate, which has had, 8 wins, including this one right now, that he's out there doing it. This will be the 8th time, but there, Václav Minich in that back there was trying to get somewhere out of the gate number 3, couldn't get there. And Leon Madsen from the blue helmet just got all tight going in there, and Nordic Bladorn from the outside gate was in the picture coming down that back straightaway and kind of took up that room. And the only chance that Leon Madsen had was to try to pick a rider, and the rider just in front of him was Nordic Bladorn, and he was focusing on him, but way out in front was Casper Viona. An easy 3 points for himself, as the rest of the boys are fighting for those minor spots, and at the end of the day, it's very difficult out there if you're not making starts.
Happy days for Casper Verina, 7 points alongside Anders Thompson with 3 rides completed. Heat 12 is next up with Timo Lahti off the inside gate. He has the inside just as he had in Heat 5, where he won that particular race, and a win here would put him onto 7 as well, but some fairly stiff competition too, with Andrzej Lebedevs in blue with 5 points so far. Dudek unbeaten, but going off the top gate 3, he's on 6, and Pawlicki off the outside with 3 points. So interesting lineup across the gates here for Heat 12.
Yeah, everybody's got points under them, so it's you can't be the weak link in this Heat 12 right now, with Timo Lahti probably in the favorite gate the way the stats are, and Lebedev's right next to him with Patrick Dudek just in gate number 3, and Piotr Pawlicki on that outside. Can he come alive right now? That's the question.
Well, Lahti off the inside, the slowest rider so far, according to those stats. But yes, can Pawlicki make it from the outside? It seems that if you can get yourself in a reasonable position on that first bend, it will give you the slingshot. But if you get boxed in, then there's no way through.
Yeah, so if Lahti makes a good one, it kind of stirs things up there for the guys just outside of him. But Dudek will be focused on making the best start he ever can make, but he can afford to drop in a point. So just don't lose sight of this guy on the inside if he makes a start.
Lahti inside, Lebedev's gate 2, Dudek gate 3, Pawlicki outside. Lebedev makes a poor start, good start by Lahti, and Dudek's not too bad off gate 3. He's going out wide off turn 2. Lahti with the lead. Lebedev works his way through into second place. Dudek in third, being passed down the inside by Pawlicki, and our meeting leader is at the back here in Heat 12 as Timo Lahti makes good use of the inside gate to lead onto lap 2. Lebedev's in second place, Pawlicki in third, trying the inside. In fact, they're stacking up here behind Timo Lahti, but Dudek, who was perfect in his first 2 rides, now is no scoring.
Yeah, it was very difficult. The dirt was getting in his face. He couldn't pick a line. That is Dudek there, so he's struggling just to stay with these guys that are out in front of him right now. It's really difficult. But look at Lebedev's right up in the deep stuff right there, trying to get some speed, see if he can get over the top of that thing going into this final couple of turns of this third lap.
Lahti moves wide off the fourth turn. Lebedev moves back to the inside. Now they were close coming off the bend, and Lebedev suits his way through. And now what can Pawlicki do on the inside against Timo Lahti? He can come through as well. Drama here in Heat 12 as Lebedev hits the front, and Pawlicki in second place with Lahti trying to come back on the inside, but Lebedev's coming through to win it. Second place is going to be Pawlicki, and third Lahti, who was leading for a long way. Dudek, unbeaten before the race, is very much beaten there. He's at the back, and that really does shake things up here in the Speedway Euro Championship first round. Andrzej Lebedevs is the meeting leader on 8 points from 3 rides. A superb move there to pass Timo Lahti. Pawlicki followed him through in second place. Lahti in third, with Dudek at the back, and Lebedev's the man on top here.
Wow. So approaching this heat number 12, knowing that all these riders are potentially race winners, how do you bust them all up? Well, guess what? Lebedev's has the answers. He came from gate number 2 in the blue, but the inside, Timo Lahti makes a start, gets himself out in front. Dudek in the white helmet colors in no man's land. He can't get that bike hooked up and going, but just underneath him is Pavici. He goes into third place going into the third turn of the first lap. Here's another view right now of Timo Lahti making the start. You can just see how determined he was to keep that bike in the right place for the whole 4 laps. But then as the momentum starts to build, the Latvian, Andrejs Lebedevs, 2017 winner of this SEC championship, throws his bike in there. He gets over the top of Timo Lahti, but then to follow it through there was another contender right there. Pietro Pavici comes into the picture as well, and these guys are beating up Timo Lahti when it comes to the final of this 4 laps.
They certainly did, and Andrejs Lebedevs with a great move there on the inside. He's never actually won a round of the Speedway Euro Championship. Won the title in 2017 by being consistent, but has never actually won a round. But he leads today's meeting after 3 completed races with 8 points so far. That's tremendous stuff there by Lebedevs. Verina and Thompson both on 7, Dudek and Torsell on 6, and Maciej Janowski has 5. Great to see him back in the Speedway Euro Championship. And they call Maciej is back in the Tyrrell Speedway Euro Championship. Back in 2013, Maciej Janowski finished joint 5th in the series, 14 points behind the winner Martin Vashlik. His best result coming in the opening round at Gdansk, where he scored 10 and missed out in the last chance race. Maciej went on to become one of the best and most consistent riders in World Speedway, with 8 Grand Prix wins to his name, and he finished in the top 6 of the world standings for an incredible 7 successive seasons, finally securing a medal with 3rd place overall in 2022. But after a tough year in 23, the Pole lost his Grand Prix place, and the 32-year-old is now keen to fight for the Speedway Euro Championship title. He won the SEC Challenge at Daugavpils, and now if he can win the main series, that would also mean a return to the GP. Maciej is back in the SEC. We are delighted to see him competing. Now, can he put in a real challenge for European gold?
Maciej is back in the SEC, and Maciej is right by my side. Maciej Janowski, first of all, it's great to have you here during Speedway European Championship round. How are you feeling today in Debrecen, Maciej?
I'm feeling good. Just I was hoping that track will be a little bit better to race. I think they have some problem with the water track, but besides of that, I'm feeling great. Great to be back in SEC. That was few years with my break in the series, but enjoy.
So one thing we can say for sure about Maciej Janowski is that you put a great show on track. We got a taste of that with Anders Thompson. Did you hear him? Did you see him? And did you defend against Anders Thompson?
Yeah, you know, I knew that Anders will be really quick, so I tried to defend and try to be smart on the track, because some part of the track is really wet. On some part you have some nice stuff to race, so it's tricky, you know, especially after the grading. But I get 3 points, but still looking for something better with my bike.
I see, struggling for perfection, Maciej Janowski. So we already saw that in the clip that you were in SEC in 2013. A lot of things changed since then. With SGP, obviously you're racing in Wrocław. That's a long history, but you've shaken it up this year. No SGP anymore. You're back in SEC. You changed your club in Sweden to Piraterna Motala. You're racing back in England. Did you want to switch it back, or did you think happen that way?
You know, a lot of things changed in past few years. I just want to be better rider, and I think that come back to England, give me that chance, or maybe no. We will see. But I always try to do what I think on that moment. So a lot of changes. Sounds like I'm pretty old, but I still feel very young, and doesn't change much since 10 years ago. So I don't know what's going to be in next 10 years.
not too old to win as a first pole in Speedway European Championship Series, the gold medal at the end of the season. Maciej, 5 points so far after 3 appearances on track. You were excluded in heat number 2. I think we're going to see it now. What do you think of referee's decision to exclude you? Because that was a situation between you and Piotr Pawlicki, your close friend. You both live in Wrocław. I'm sure that things between you are great, but what happened in heat number 2?
And we're gonna travel together to the airport after the meeting. So that was not so good. Track was super wet in the first couple hits. I saw some gap. I tried to go there, but get some grip in the inside. I think I have like not so good position on my back, going to that spot, and things happen. Sorry.
So when you take the ride with Piotr Pawlicki today to the airport, are you going to tell him, come on, Peter, you should have stayed on the bike?
No, that was clearly a good decision for the referee. That was pretty hard punch from my back to Piotr. So these things happens on the track, you know. We compare on good level, and we know why we're here, and also we don't do things like that in purpose. So this is Speedway, so sorry for that, and I hope Piotr will take me to the airport.
I see one last question, Magic. So we see riders going wider and wider. Do you think it's going to benefit you in remaining races?
I'm still looking for something to change for better start, but looks like driving line is moving to the outside. So that's, I hope, will create a little bit more racing.
Thank you very much, and best of luck for the rest of the meeting.
Maciej Janowski is very much one of Speedway's nice guys, and there you heard it, Sam. The referee made a good decision to exclude him.
Yeah, I picked up on many things that Janowski was just talking about. One was the fact that, you know, he's not too old, he feels young, he wants to do it. The track conditions, the way they grade it plays a part on how these guys are performing around here. You know, if you got the draw and it's right after a grade, you're limited to what you can do on the track because they have to put water down. There's no doubt about it. We see that. And the fact that, you know, the riding in Great Britain is making him a better rider. You know, that is the trend these days, isn't it?
Really interesting, really interesting. Let's see if any more do. Lebedev's the meeting leader with 8 points. Verena with 7, Thompson with 7, Dudek and Thorso on 6. Janowski leads that group on 5. Dudek is still the quickest rider so far. We have seen several riders come back to the UK after years away. And Janowski doing it himself after a decade away and trying to learn the Oxford track, which is very, very different to what you'd expect in Pau, and that is a technical circuit, and he's having to find the way around there. Jakub Torsel covering the most distance there, top distance, or the least distance, I should say, in a race to win a race. I think that's the stat there from heat number 9. So, yeah, different stuff coming out all the time. Before heat 13, as we see the max speed now held by Lebedev, so it's creeping up to that 125 mark. We're at 122.8 there, so we're getting there on that one. Just before heat 13, just wanted to make a quick mention. Andrei Kudryashov, former Speedway European Championship rider, sadly losing his life in the fairly recent past. Had been fighting a long battle with skin cancer, very difficult for his young family as well, especially with the situation politically where they've had difficulty with treatment and so on. So send all our thoughts to Andrei's family.
Yeah, for sure.
On we go to heat 13. Piotr Pawlicki riding in red. Rasmus Jensen rides in blue. Norik Bladorn in white, and Jakub Torsel in yellow. These are all pretty much contenders so far. Pawlicki needs a big ride here from the inside with 5 points. Rasmus Jensen's got 5. The rider off the outside there, Jakub Torsel. Reminder, he's the first reserve in the series, coming in because of the injuries to Dimitri Berger and Janis Kawadze. But Torsel going well with 6 points so far. Bladorn has got 4, and there's Jensen in blue on 5 points. 4th ride out of 5 now, so this is crucial time.
It is, and if you want to be mediocre in this event, these guys all are sitting on that position, aren't they? So you got to make sure that you can just add those few more points. If you're going to have a bad night, then that might not be bad when you're going into the next rounds that are coming up. But all these guys have a chance. Piotr Pawlicki on the inside, which is a favorite side, sitting on 5 points. He might be the one. Jensen alongside of him, really working the racetrack out to see if he can make some thing. He realized he didn't have the speed the last time out when his fellow countryman just blew him off for that win he had. That was Mikkelsen coming back to life in this series. the first round here. But Torcel sitting on that outside. This is too early to say whether, if the pattern goes, that you can make it. The inside guy, Pavlicki, should be in the driving seat.
Pavlicki on the inside, Jensen gate 2, Bledorn gate 3, Torcel off the outside, heat 13 here in Debrecen gets underway. Pavlicki makes a decent start there from the inside gate. They're tight for second, third and fourth, but Pavlicki clearly into the first bend with the advantage. Jensen in second place, and after the track grade, Torcel tried the outside run in yellow, but it wasn't really there for him. Rasmus Jensen in second, just toppling away there on the inside, holding that second place over Jakob Torcel with Bledorn at the back. This is certainly putting Pavlicki back in contention. If he can win this particular race, that would take him up to 8 points. He's certainly clearly in front here.
Yeah, he's riding the track really fast too. It's nice to see there, but you know, Jensen is trying everything he can to keep pace with him, but the distance is already there.
I don't think Jensen's quite got the pace he wants in this meeting. He's certainly riding hard enough, certainly involved in plenty of action, but at the moment he's having to defend second place really from Jakob Torcel rather than putting any pressure here on Pavlicki, who has got a tough last ride to come off gate 3. So that won't be easy for him, but he is certainly putting himself in contention for a top 6 finish after 20 heats. Pavlicki in front here of Jensen with Torcel in third and Bledorn at the back. That's how they should finish as they come round turn 3 and 4 for the final time. And Pavlicki holds the inside neatly and wins it. Second place there, Rasmus Jensen. Third, Jakob Torcel with Bledorn at the back. As I say, Pavlicki has a tough heat 18 against Madsen and Mikkelsen to come, who are going to be inside him, but that does put him onto 8 points from 4 rides, and at the moment puts him into second place in the standings, albeit there are riders with, of course, races to come in this particular block of heat. Pavlicki wins heat 13, Jensen second, Torcel in third place, and you said he was in the driving seat there off the inside. He certainly was there.
Yeah, there's no doubt the stats aren't lying to us right there. We can just see the action here in the replay. Heat number 13, Pavlicki gets himself in there, keeps it down low too, makes no mistakes about keeping a tight line all the way through the first corner. And just off the backside of these guys, Nordic, Bledorn in the white right there, again a victim of that gate number 3. There's just no way to get in there. Jakob Torcel goes really deep to try to get some speed there, but it was the Dane Rasmus Jensen that actually holds on to that second place. A little bit uncomfortable the way he was going, but Pavlicki out in front in the red helmet color there, coming off of that inside gate, which seems to be the one that's a golden one to have whenever they just come off a track grade.
At the moment, that is the one they're going to want when they start picking gates for the last chance and for the final. So you need to have the points in the bag to be able to have that choice. And talking of the inside gate for heat 14, well, that is the property of Mikkel Mikkelsen, who will be going here. And if he wins this one, it will take him on to 8 points, along with Pavlicki. He'd actually be in front of him on race wins, but he has to win the race first. There he is, the defending series champion at Mikkel Mikkelsen off the inside gate. He's got 5 points so far this afternoon. Timo Lahti has also got 5. Casper Verino has got 7 in white, and Anders Thompson there off the outside has got 7. So interesting lineup here.
Yeah, that means that really the favorite's got to be Anders Thompson, coming from the outside gate. They've just graded it. They've had one race, a little bit of dirt up there for him to go wide, but Mikkelsen had so much speed in his last ride out. Whether he's going to be able to repeat that from that inside gate, time will tell. But this Heat 14 is building up to be a good one.
Mikkelsen off the inside, Lahti off gate 2, Verino off gate 3, and Thompson off the outside gate. They're digging away at the start line. They've got about 30 seconds to go before they have to be in line. Mikkel Mikkelsen's been preparing the inside gate. Start Marshal, I think they're all ready now, so Start Marshal will bring them into line. And this is Heat 14 in Debrecen.
Yeah, none of these guys have had a 0, so they're all used to scoring points, but somebody will at the end of this race.
Mikkelsen, Lahti, Verina and Thompson at the start line and away. Mikkelsen off the inside, decent start there by Mikkel Mikkelsen. Thompson trying to come across, but gets a shove there from Casper Verina. Thompson will try the outside off bend 2 to go round Verina into third place. He does so, and now can he keep it going to get past Timo Lahti as well. Mikkelsen race leads. The wide line is with Anders Thompson, the rider in yellow, sweeping around the outside of Timo Lahti in blue, moving through into second place. Now can he keep that going and threaten Mikkel Mikkelsen, or will Mikkelsen maintain control? Mikkelsen leads here from Anders Thompson.
Yeah, Mikkelsen's comfortable exactly where he's at. He's got the speed, but he's now moved out a little bit just to get on that high line, so he's got the key to this track right here. 384 meters. Who's going to get it at the end? Look, Anderson locks up a little bit right there, and gets who? Timo Lahti comes in for that second place.
Anders Thompson going for the lead, or trying to gain speed to get the lead, but in the end almost twisted himself inside out and lost second place to Timo Lahti. So they start the last lap here, and Mikko Mikkelsen still leads, and Thompson now trying to regain the place. If he's not careful, he'll lose out to Casper Verina as well, because every time Thompson tries something, he actually ends up going backwards. It's Mikkelsen with the advantage round turns 3 and 4, and Thompson goes wide once more off the final turn. There's the win for Mikko Mikkelsen, and second place Timo Lahti, and a no doubt frustrated Anders Thompson is left in third place after getting it wrong there on the apex of bends 1 and 2 on the third lap. And that makes the situation very, very interesting indeed, because Mikkelsen wins that race and moves on to 8 points. Lahti gets second place to move on to 7, and Thompson gets 1 point to move on to 8, and Verina is left on 7. That's how close it is. Mikkelsen wins heat 14, second Lahti, third Thompson.
So many different combinations would play dividends if you're out in front, but you know what? Every one of these guys wanted to be there. Mikkelsen in the driver's seat from the inside went out there and controlled the race really from the start. And the boys started picking up different lines as they're going. Here we are watching the guys on the outside right there in yellow. That is Andreas Thompson trying to make that outside line where Timo Lahti sticking on the inside, trying to get into the follow. Mikko Mikkelsen around the first 1 and 2 corners if he can get there. Then the outside line looked favorable, as we've seen earlier on with Mikkelsen using it. Anderson tries to go out there, and Anders tries to go out there, and goes to work it, but leaves the door wide open, and Timo Lahti comes straight underneath him.
Will he live to rue that point? We wonder. It's so close. The riders on 7 and 8 points. Andrei Lebedev still leads the meeting here, even though he's still got a ride to come in this block. Everybody else is whizzing around behind him with 7s and 8s, but so far, Lebedev's on top. Let's see how things stand. Dudek could pass him in heat 15, but Dudek's off gate 3. Interesting situation here, because Dudek's off gate 3, but in a race that probably you'd want gate 3 in, with all due respect, because Magossi is off the inside, Milik is off gate 2, and Kostyov is off gate 4. So if we're going to see a win off gate 3, this will be the one, you'd say.
And it's the right time after the grade, huh? The third race after, so the water might not be such a dramatic devastation to the rider, but you got to make the start. Dudek was making really good jumps earlier on. If he can continue to do that, his last outing out, he failed to score, so this is real important for him to make sure he keeps it going.
Pointless Magossi, 3 last places so far off the inside. Milik with 2 last places and 2 points off gate 2. Kostigos with 2 points from 3 rides off gate 4. Dudek with 2 wins, but off the completely unfavoured gate, gate number 3. That's how they shake up for heat 15. Watch the rider in white, Patrick Dudek. Can he make anything out of gate 3 here? He lifts off gate 3. Milik in blue has got to bend in front, but Dudek was there second ahead of Magossi. And now what can Dudek do? You can see, if you go out in the wrong place, the gap that can be built up, and Vassan Milik has built that gap. Dudek in second place, Kostigos battling with Magossi for third. What can Patrick Dudek here now do around the outside with Milik in front, but Dudek reading him in, made massive ground there on the second half of lap 1, swings out wide once more, Vassan Milik with the lead, Dudek chasing him hard.
Yeah, Milik's got the inside, he wants to make that work for himself, he won't reach out there, but Dudek's got the whole outside to himself, and I think he'll build the momentum.
Dudek will carry on trying as they move on to lap 3, still Vassan Milik holding a conservative inside line. Patrick Dudek reaching big round the outside, this time he's got a good line off bend 2, here comes Patrick Dudek, textbook move, classy ride by Patrick Dudek, gets round the outside of Vassan Milik, swings it out wide once again, super stuff by Dudek to race lead onto his last lap. Milik in second place, it's Kostigos in third place with Magossi out of contention, and Patrick Dudek absolutely superb there, had to rear in Vassan Milik, had to really put it in there on the outside, and we do see a winner from gate 3, and it's Patrick Dudek in heat 15 taking it over Vassan Milik. Third place Kostigos with Magossi at the back, and Dudek, well, he got himself in second place early in that race, but he had to rear in Václav Milik, and after a couple of good bend 4s, he got a good exit on bend 2 the third time round, and that took him round the outside of Václav Milik, and that took him to his 3rd win of the meeting, and that takes him into the lead of the meeting with 9 points from 4 rides so far. Patrick Dudek, good stuff there in heat 15. He wins it. Second place Václav Milik, and third place Evgeny Kostigos.
Well, you kind of nailed it on that one, Mr. Rowe. This is it. This was a race that he had to make sure he took advantage, and it probably played right in his hands. Milik making a great start, getting himself out in front. Milik is the kind of rider that will stick to one line, and that's exactly what played into Patrick Dudek's hands. Patrick almost got over the top of him going into the first corner, resorted to going straight to the outside. Milik straight to the inside, coming from gate number 2. He's leading this heat number 15. pretty comfortably, but sticking to that inside line is what he did. And Dudek thought to himself, right, I'm just going to keep working the outside. It took him a couple laps to get the momentum, but he finally was able to come alongside of Milik, the Czech rider, and get over the top of him going into turns 3 and that lap right there and sealing the deal. So a perfect execution of taking advantage of some of the weaker riders in Heat 15.
Lovely move around the outside there from Patrick Dudek off to win in the end from gate 3. And in Heat 16, we will see Andrzej Lebedev go from gate 3. He will be facing Leon Madsen, Maciej Janowski, and Bartek Kowalski as well. So that's the lineup for Heat 16. The rider in yellow there, Bartek Kowalski, with 4 points so far. The rider in blue, Maciej Janowski, excluded first time out, has picked up 5 points from his next 2 rides. Leon Madsen off the inside with 1 point so far. It's now all about damage limitation in the series. Can he turn 1 point into 7 by winning his last 2? He's got the inside gate here. He's got the inside in Heat 18, so he's perfectly capable, but he'll have to show us more speed than his previous rides.
Yeah, it's a shame to see a previous champ having a real struggle on this track. I would think this one was one of his favorite ones. You would think so, the way he's got so much speed out of his bike, but it's just not working for him this evening, is it?
Not at all, not at all. So Madsen, sadly, he was my tip for the meeting, unfortunately. So you can't get him all right. Madsen with the inside gate here. Janowski with gate 2, Lebedev with gate 3, and Kowalski with the outside for Heat 16 to complete the 4th block of races. There is Bartek Kowalski, right in the yellow helmet colour. Lebedev's in line alongside him. There's Leon Madsen. Start Marshal gets the riders into line, and after this we'll start to see who needs to do what ahead of the final block of races. Madsen on the inside, Janowski gate 2, Lebedev's gate 3, Kowalski outside. This is Heat 16 in Debrecen. Away they go. Madsen this time doesn't make a good start. Madsen off the inside, gets the lead, moves out wide on turn 2. Turning back in Lebedev's. Madsen goes from first to last, squeezed out by Kowalski off turn 2. Janowski coming through as well. That sums up Madsen's day. He tries to come back for the inside, really tight there off the bend. He barges his way back through into 3rd place, but a sweet move there by Andrzej Lebedev. He's in superb form so far. More drama on turn 2 as Madsen gets inside Janowski.
Wow, impressive thinking right there from Lebedev's left end. Didn't make the best of jumps, and made a consistent jump in that first corner. Cut the cutback right there to take advantage of getting underneath Leon Madsen, which had the inside gate, thought he was going to have it all his own way, but Janowski's now just pouncing on Madsen going into turns 3.
Janowski makes it through on the inside. Madsen will try and take it wide off the bend, but Janowski almost through there. I think he is through into 2nd place. They're battling away behind Andrzej Lebedev, who is looking superb so far this afternoon in Debrecen. He leads at the back straight for the final time. Maciej Janowski in 2nd place, keeping himself in contention. 1 point is nowhere near enough for Leon Madsen. Entertaining stuff there in Heat 16. It's a win for Andrzej Lebedev's. 2nd, Maciej Janowski. 3rd place for Leon Madsen, and Lebedev's on to 11 points from 4 rides. He is 2 points clear at the top of the standings in this meeting, and that was a brilliant performance. As with Patrick Dudek, Lebedev pulls out a win from gate 3 with some super speedway in Heat 16. Confirmation of the result, Lebedev's is the winner. Janowski in 2nd place, Madsen with just a point in 3rd, Kowalski at the back. Lebedev's and Dudek lead the meeting with 11 and 9 points respectively. Mikkelsen, Thompson and Pawlicki all have 8, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 riders on 7 points. Wow.
It's going to be tough for those guys sitting on those 7 points for wishful thinking. But looking at the start of this thing, look at how Lebedev just turned that bike back from gate number 3 with forceful intentions to get himself into the front as he can get there. And we see Leon Madsen going from first out of the start, goes in the corner. As he goes into the corner, he moves up wide, leaves the door wide open for all 3 riders, saying, come on in. Pass me right now, and I'll try to come back in there. And Janowski then gets himself into 2nd, coming off of the first lap, finishing right, going over the finish line there. And that's the way it looked like it was going to be. But the pressure was on Janowski when Leon Madsen woke up and started battling for that 2nd position. But by the end, it was a matter of Lebedev's coming from gate number 3, the 2nd rider to win from that gate number 3. And Janowski's made sure that he sealed the deal for 2nd place right there to make sure he got some more points on the board over Leon Madsen.
Well, that could be a really important 2nd place for Maciej Janowski, who's not quite in the top 6 on the countback so far, but he's level on points with Kasper Verina. Verina is currently in the 6th position on countback with 2 race wins so far, but as I say, they're stacking up because Janowski, Lahti, Torsell and Jensen have all got 7 points as well, so that last block of heats is going to be absolutely crucial when determining the places, with also riders on 8 as well. This is the first of 4 rounds of the Taron Speedway Euro Championship. It should be quite some fight for the title. Danish duo Mikkel Mikkelsen and Leon Madsen have dominated the Taron Speedway Euro Championship in recent years. A run of 5 wins between them over the last 6 seasons, broken only by Robert Lambert's triumph in 2020. Mikkelsen has 3 titles and Madsen has 2. They have been challenged in recent years by Janusz Kowodze, but the veteran Polish rider has been very unlucky with injuries at just the wrong time. There are 4 more Poles who are keen to shine. Patrick Dudek has finished 3rd, 4th and 4th in the last 3 years, whilst Maciej Janowski rejoins the series after 11 years away, and both of those riders are desperate to win back their Grand Prix place. That will also be a target for Piotr Pawlicki, who challenged for this title 3 years ago, and Kasper Verina is capable of some spectacular racing action. Denmark's Anders Thomsen last rode in the SEC in 2019. Since then, he went on to win a Grand Prix in Gorzów, and fellow countryman Rasmus Jensen provided great entertainment in 2022. Whoever ends up on top, we are in for a thrilling 4 rounds to decide the Taron Speedway Euro Championship.
I am now joined by Rasmus Jensen. Rasmus, you managed to score in every single race you appeared in, but you didn't manage to win. Why is that?
Yeah, I made the start in the very first heat from gate 4, and I just rode a stupid line. I left myself in the middle, and Thomsen went around and Dudek on the inside, and that was probably my best shot. And yeah, Mikkelsen passed me. He was very fast in that race. We went a bit too far off with the sprocket, so the bike couldn't really drag itself, but yeah, 7 points is all right.
We're going to see you in heat 19 out of gate 2, same as in heat 13 when you scored 2 points, but you're going to have Timo Lahti on your right hand side and Maciej Janowski from gate 4. All 3 of you are on 7 points. Looks like a decider to me.
Oh, okay, I don't know, but yeah, I wish I had gate 1 or 4 for that, but yeah, we're trying something completely different just to see if we can make a good start off too. It's been difficult from gate 2 from what I watched, and the last one I had was pretty difficult too. So we're trying to do some drastic, and it's either win it or win it.
Rasmus, last time we had you here in SEC, that was 2 years ago. I feel like you were a rising star, but you were in a different moment of your career. Now you're an Extraliga rider. Great start to the season in Poland, doing great in Denmark and in Sweden. How do you feel? Do you feel like you're growing your skills in the recent years?
Yeah. As you say, it's been on a climb. As I've said, I have no plans on taking one major step and stay there. We're working as hard as I can to like just add a few percentage each year, and well, see, got another 10 years left to try and see what I can make out of it.
I see. So what about heat 19? What's your plan? You said that gate number 2 is not the best one. Can you overtake other riders on the outside, for example? Something you're really good at in Denmark, for example.
Yeah, well, I don't know. If the free riders is going for the fence, there's no chance I'm gonna try and go around them. But if they're gonna be staying in the middle or inside, I might give it a shot. But if they're on the fence, I'm not gonna round it. So it's all up to what's gonna happen in the race.
I see. One last question about Danish riders, because for years it's been Nicky Pedersen, Kenneth Bjerre, Niels Christian Iversen. Now we see a new wave of Danish riders with Anders Thomsen, Mikkel Mikkelsen, and yourself winning individual Danish championship in recent years. Do you feel like there's a new wave of Danish speedway riders coming onto the market?
Well, there's gonna be eventually, because people get older and retire, but yeah, it's kind of nice to see, for example, Mikkel and Anders growing up. Like I rode against them as long as I can remember, from when I started on the small peewees at the age of 7. So it's special and nice in the same way. Of course, they are competitors, and I want to beat them more than anyone in this field. But it's cool too that it's people you spend your entire childhood with, and through the ranks on 80 cc's as well. So yeah, it's quite cool to race them on the big stage as well.
That's an awesome story. Thank you very much, Rasmus. Best of luck for the rest of the meeting.
Thanks.
Back to you, Sam and David.
Thank you, Martin. And yes, he's very much in contention, but there's a tough race to come before we sort out who exactly finishes where in today's meeting and who progresses into the last chance race and then the grand final itself. Basically 10 riders involved now at this stage with a chance of finishing in the top 6 on the day, and that will be quite some battle to come. So here's how it stands. Lebedev's on 11 points, Dudek on 9. As things stand, those two are going into the final, but one more ride each to come. Then Mikkelsen on 8 along with Thompson and Pawlicki. Verina is on 7 with Janowski, Lati, Torsell and Jensen also on 7, and Verina currently in that 6th place on account of the fact that he has got 2 race wins. Janowski and Lati have got, and indeed Torsell have all got 1 race win, and Jensen has got no race wins but 3 second places. Still the fastest time, and that one may well stand now for the remainder of the meeting. Patrick Dudek in heat 6 with that 65.8 was the quickest time so far in the meeting today, and maximum speeds there 122.8 from Andrzej Lebedev, so almost 123.
Yeah, he's getting there. Yeah, these stats are kind of good, but kind of not important to the riders when they're in the pits, if you know what I mean. It's a matter of getting that bike set up and figuring out what gate positions. Yeah, exactly. So 10 from the inside, and finally we got a couple of wins from the other race starting positions.
But even those 2 from gate 3, the riders have had to really fight their way through.
They sure have, and that just goes and shows the ability and basically how loaded that race might be at that different time. But we got interesting races coming up here when the 2 guys at the top both start on gate 4 in their next race out. So they could easily add 3 more points there to their total.
Yeah, looking at those riders who are on the 8 and 7 point mark who are going to be contesting for top 6 overall, we're going to see Torsell and Verina in heat 17. They've both got 7 so far. They're up against Dudek, who's on the outside. Heat 18, Mikkelsen and Pawlicki off gates 2 and 3. They've both got 8 at this stage. Heat 19, as Martin was pointing out, Rasmus Jensen, Timo Lati and Magic Janowski all on 7 points. They all clash in that race, and then that will mean Anders Thompson, who goes in white in heat 20, will know what he has to do to try and make the top 6.
Yeah, that's for sure, to make the top 6. But you know what's Lebedev's want to do coming from the outside in that one? He's going to want to win.
Oh, he wants to win because he wants to build points.
Yeah, there you go. So
I mean, this is, if Lebedev carries on in this particular vein, then he's putting himself in great shape to challenge for a second title.
Absolutely. And he might even have a chance of winning one that he didn't do when he won it in 2017.
Absolutely, yeah. That year he was finishing on the podium in every round, but wasn't actually winning one. It was 2017 was the year when he had his title success, but the meetings themselves were won by Jarek Hampel, Artem Laguta, Václav Milik and Krzysztof Kasperzak. But Lebedev kept finishing second or third.
So does he think that formula is what he needs to do? Maybe he's not worried about it, right?
I think he'd like to win one, to be honest.
For sure. Here we go. Heat 17 coming up. These boys are getting there. On the outside, Patrick Dudek will be the first one to win off of gate 4 in a freshly groomed racetrack if this was to happen. And Kowalski will be coming out of gate 3, which has not been very favorable as we've seen throughout the inside. But Torsell on the inside, he's got to be thinking 3 points would be golden for him. That will put him on 10 points overall, which will be handy. And with Casper Viona just next to him in the blue, he'll want to add 3 more points because that puts his total on 10, which just takes that pressure off him a little bit with the race win, doesn't it?
Well, that would be okay for Verina because that would be a 10 points and a third race win. So if he was to win this race, none of those over 7 riders on 7 could catch him, although they could put pressure on the guys going on 8 if they don't score.
Sure, but Verina's got those 2 race wins, so Torsell really needs to get a win, otherwise he can't pass the win stats. Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely.
So there we go.
Key race then, heat number 17 with Jakob Torsell off the inside, Kasper Verina off gate 2, Bartek Kowalski off gate 3, and of course Patrick Dudek with those 3 wins and 9 points going off the outside gate. But it's so close behind him that he can't afford to make a mess of it here.
No, not at all. I mean, 2 points would be good for Dudek, but you know, just to kind of keep things healthy at the top there. But you know, Casper, he's the one that right now that's got to make sure he wins over the top of Torsell. But everybody's got their own way.
Heat 17 then, Torsell, Verina, Kowalski and Dudek at the start line. Away they go, and Torsell does nail the inside start there against Verina. He gets there, and Dudek missing out there on the first turn, and this could be important. Dudek coming through into third place, so Thorsell with the advantage, with Verina in second place, and Dudek in third, with Kowalski at the back. That's how they stand after one lap, and we said how important it was this race for Jakob Thorsell off the inside gate. He certainly made it. Kasper Verina in second place, Patrick Dudek in third.
Yeah, Dudek won't be disappointed with the 1 point out of this one right here, but the owner definitely would like to have gotten more. But you know, what can I say about Jakob Thorsell? That inside gate started out with the race winning, finishing with the race win, and his last heat of the rounds, putting him in a pretty good position.
Yeah, the 1 point here isn't too bad for Dudek. It keeps him in front of Thorsell and Verina on the countback, so that's important for gate choices later on. Whether it will take him into the final, though, we'll have to wait and see, because there are riders on 8 points currently who could go past him, so we may yet see Dudek in the last chance. Jakob Thorsell keeping himself very much in play. Second place, Kasper Verina. Third, Patrick Dudek, with Bartek Kowalski at the back. The start was all important from the inside, and Jakob Thorsell made that start and gets his second win of the meeting and moves on to 10 points. Kasper Verina in second place goes on to 9. He'll have to wait on that one. Those 2 race wins could work out in his favour on a countback, should 9 points be enough to go through. Dudek in third goes on to 10, and with 3 wins in his pocket, he's still sat pretty in the countback, and he leads Thorsell on the countback with both on 10 points. Thorsell wins heat 17, Verina second, and Dudek third.
Yeah, this heat 17 had a lot of different orders of finish depending on what was happening, but there's no mistake that Jakob Thorsell meant business, got himself out in front and kept it going there. Patrick Dudek in the white helmet color was really desperate, or yellow helmet color, was really desperate to see if he can actually get into that second position to keep himself clear of everybody else. But you know, not a bad run really when you think about it. This track has not been even out of the starts by a long way. But Jakob Thorsell made sure that inside gate worked in his favor, and the only difference, the way after the grading's been finishing, is a lot of times it was 1, 2, 3, meaning red, blue, white, yellow. But this time, Dudek made sure he got into that third position, which helped him out.
Yeah, it will help him, I think, going forward, but we'll see whether it takes him into the final. There is Jakob Thorsell, who's on to 10 points. We'll see him again, I'm sure, in the last chance race. But Heat 18 is next up, which features Mikkel Mikkelsen and Piotr Pawlicki, both on 8 points. Madsen is on the inside. Mikkelsen and Pawlicki on gates 2 and 3. Lagossi off the outside. So Mikkelsen, Pawlicki and Thompson have all got 8 points so far, have the chance to go above Patrick Dudek and go straight into the final, along with Andrzej Lebedev's. So can either Mikkelsen or Pawlicki win this race against Madsen and Lagossi? And if they do, that could take them into the final.
Again, normally we would see Leon Madsen with tons of points.
We'd expect to get up.
Exactly. It wouldn't have been their own way by a long shot right now. But, you know, which Leon Madsen showing up in this heat number 18, we'll yet to see here. But, you know, if we follow the pattern right now, the inside's got to be the favorite. But Mikkelsen, can he make it? There's been 2 wins off of gate 2. And they've been out of the gates, I think, and that's, if I look back at that, I'm pretty sure that's the way it was. On the outside there, we obviously got the 49-year-old track favorite 5 times. He's been in international Hungarian podium finishes, but Pawlicki just inside of him on 8 points as well.
Madsen inside, Mikkelsen gate 2, Pawlicki gate 3, Lagossi on the outside, underway for Heat 18. Madsen makes the start now. Can he control that start, I wonder, against Mikkel Mikkelsen, with Pawlicki in third place and Lagossi at the back. Leon Madsen has the lead here over Mikkel Mikkelsen into bend 3, and really for the first time this afternoon, Leon Madsen with fresh air out in front. There's certainly more confidence about the lines being pulled by Mikkel Mikkelsen in second place, but can he pass his fellow Dane? Leon Madsen is race leading here.
Yeah, if he reaches out too far, Pawlicki's just underneath him right there. If they do get that close, to be able to make sure he can sneak in there and take those 2 points from Mikkelsen. But Mikkelsen looks like he's going to submit to the fact that second place is good enough for himself, because Leon Madsen's holding a good line.
This would work out nicely with Patrick Dudek so far, because Mikkel Mikkelsen second place would leave him behind Dudek on countback, so Dudek would still maintain that place in the final for now, although Anders Thompson, of course, is still to come. Leon Madsen putting points on the board here. That's all he's doing, because he's had such a nightmare meeting so far. It looks like he'll finish off here with a win in Heat 18 to take him to 5. Mikkelsen on 1. We're up the back straight in second place. Pawlicki in third. We'll have to wait and see, because his 9 may not be enough. They come round the final turn and win for Madsen over Mikkelsen, with Pawlicki in third and Lagossi out the back. Madsen does finish off with a victory after a trying afternoon. Only 5 points, one more than he scored last year in Gustrov. He gets the race victory there. Mikkel Mikkelsen will be moving on. We can be fairly confident of that with his 10 points. Currently placed in third place along with Jakob Torsell, but it keeps him behind Patrick Dudek. So Madsen wins heat 18, second place Mikkelsen, third Pavlitsky. Madsen finishing on 5 points, and Pavlitsky is currently placed 6th, but that may well not be the case come a couple of races.
Yeah, well, Leon Madsen, the man, he's just had a terrible night, hasn't he? All the way through, man. This is not the way he wanted to start his 2024 Speedway European Championship. By only scoring 3 points by the time he finishes this race out in front right here. Just see the guys getting out of the start there, and Pietro Pavlitsky in the white helmet colors trying to gain some speed if he can over Mikkel Mikkelsen to see if he can put a threat on him. Mikkelsen had to settle by going wide to figure out if there's going to be any extra grip out there, as we've seen him do in the previous races. And at the end, he just says, you know what, 2 points are better than none because I can't make any ground on Leon Madsen. They shake hands at the end of this one, and that's Madsen's over with, but Mikkel still got a chance to go out there and fight for it, leaving him on 10 points with 2 race wins. And yet this heat number 19 that's coming up will tell another story to see where he's going to finish overall.
This certainly will tell a story because we have Václav Melik in the red helmet colour of the inside gate, and there are riders back in the pits who are hoping that Václav Melik makes the start here off the inside and wins it and takes points off the likes of Jensen, Lahti and Janowski. Jensen has currently got 7 but has not won a race. Jensen desperately needs a race victory here in heat 19. Lahti has got 7 with 1 race win, and Janowski has got 7 with 1 race win. And remember, an exclusion against Matej Janowski as well, and that could be important in such a close meeting too. One thing for sure, these people on 7 points need a win.
Yeah, absolutely. All 3 of them need a win desperately in this one here to have a chance of still competing in this thing. Because Dave's going to remind us what happens if the top 2 go straight through.
The top 2 go straight through. The next 4 go into the last chance.
There you go, the last chance. So just getting the last chance is the battle right now for these guys.
Milik with the inside gate, Jensen with gate 2, Lahti with gate 3, Janowski on the outside, and those 3 riders all on 7 points, and a win would take them into the top 6 as things stand. Anders Thompson to come in heat 20, who's currently placed on 8. Pavlitsky is sitting in 6th place on 9 points, but that 9 points looks very tenuous indeed with just the 1 race victory. Verena also on 9 but with 2 wins. Here we go with heat 19. What can Milik do off the inside? Can he be the spoiler in heat 19? Away they go. Inside gate, Václav Milik, and he does make the start, but look at this from the outside. Can Matej Janowski make it from the outside? Matej Janowski going really wide off bend 2. Milik lifting. Janowski going from 4th to 2nd. Now can he keep the speed going around turn 3 and 4? Matej Janowski with loads of speed here. Fabulous ride. Matej Janowski right round the outside. Superb stuff by Janowski. He leads from Milik, and now what can Jensen do? Can Jensen get through as well? Milik in mid-track, blocking things off. Lahti coming through into 3rd place, battling with Jensen's event 3. What a great ride by Matej Janowski.
Oh, no doubt about it. He concentrated on that one. Did not deter from that outside line all the way. That is Janowski right there. Milik is still holding on to 2nd place. Rasmus Jensen is really struggling to even get over the top of Timo Lahti. Timo Lahti securing that 3rd place, and the way it looks like Janowski's outside gate works for him.
That will certainly put Matej Janowski into the last chance race. Janowski leads on to his last lap. Milik in 2nd place. Battleston on for 3rd with Timo Lahti and Rasmus Jensen, but Jensen can't quite get it going around the outside there on the 2nd bend. But Janowski with a super ride there. Great first lap by the pole when he takes the flag and has recovered well from his first ride exclusion. Janowski wins heat 19 from Václav Milik with Lahti in 3rd place and Jensen at the back. So Janowski moves into the top 6, and in doing so takes out Pavlitsky from the top 6, so that'll be an interesting car journey back to the airport, as they were talking about it earlier. So Janowski is on 10 and he's safe, certainly in the last chance. He's behind Dudek on countback, and the battle now is can Anders Thompson take out Kasper Verena in heat 20. Janowski wins heat 19, Milik 2nd, Lahti 3rd. We'll enjoy watching that first lap again. Sweet stuff from Matej Janowski.
Wow, it's just the way the whole formula here has been here this evening, is the way the track grades affect the starts, and the way the first race, second race, and third race, and even the 4th race is still to come in this round here. But the 3rd race, Maciej Janowski in the yellow helmet color off that gate 4. Milik made the start from the inside, as they've been doing pretty much throughout the whole evening. the most gates and the most wins from that inside gate right there. But this time, Janowski had the speed to go by all 4 riders by the time he finished the first lap of this heat number 19 to get himself out in front, secure those 3 points, putting him on 10 points with 2 race wins and 1 exclusion, which could be a factor, but it isn't anymore because at the moment now he's sitting pretty right now comfortably in the last chance race when it comes up right now. But a good ride from Janowski to get himself back into this thing. He's the newcomer in this series and doing well.
Lebedev's on 11 points with 1 ride to come. He still leads the meeting. Dudek is on 10 in second place. Janowski is on 10. Torcel 10. Mikkelsen 10. Verena on 9. Pawlicki is out on 9. Heat 20 features Anders Thompson, who's currently on 8. Thompson needs a second place to move into the top 6. That would take out Kasper Verena if he does so. And if Anders Thompson wins the race, he'd go above Patrick Dudek and into the final automatically with Lebedev. Lebedev sat there on the outside in Heat 20 with 11 points already and a confirmed place in the final in his pocket, but will he be joined by Anders Thompson? Will Anders Thompson get the second place he needs to move into the top 6? Kostyov's inside, Ladorn gate 2, Thompson gate 3, Lebedev's outside.
So the trend, no. That was the question. Yeah. Trend, no. Lebedev's got this one signed, sealed, and almost delivered after 4 more laps possibly, but Thompson will not want this to get away from him. He knows how important it is for him sitting on those 8 points. If you reflect right now with only 1 race win, what's it going to be? An interesting Heat 20 and exciting to be.
Kostyov's off the inside gate, but Ladorn gate 2 with the key riders of white and yellow, particularly the rider in white, Anders Thompson, who has changed his Kevlar ahead of Heat 20. Away they go, and he's not made the best of starts. Kostyov has made it from the inside. Here comes Andres Lebedev's in yellow. Andres Lebedev's round the outside, but Anders Thompson here out the back. It could be a reprieve for Kasper Verena. Lebedev's going round the outside, trying to get the better of Kostyov. Kostyov holds a good line though over Lebedev's. Thompson needs 2 points here, don't forget. He might have 1. He's got past Norik Ladorn. It's quite tight in front of him too, as Lebedev tries to move inside. Kostyov can't make it through. Anders Thompson here needs second place.
Yeah, they just put Kostyov on the inside. He's going to come back against Lebedev's on the outside. He might have a chance that he can build some speed, and sure enough, he's going to have to work hard now. He's there, got it, dialed in.
Well, that might help Anders Thompson, who got the better, had to repass Ladorn. He's still having trouble with Ladorn, and whilst Kostyov holds that second place, Anders Thompson is stuck in 3rd with just a lap or so to go. He's still battling with Ladorn, as Lebedev has the advantage. Kostyov's in second place, and Anders Thompson, mired in 3rd, has got to get second place here if he's going to make it into the top 6 as they come into the 3rd and 4th bend for the final time. Can he make it here? Andres Lebedev's going on to 14 points, but Kostyov's in second place over Thompson with Ladorn in 3rd place, and that keeps Verena in the top 6 and puts Anders Thompson out. He had to have second place to be top 6. He did not make it. Lebedev has scored 14 points from 5 rides. That's mega impressive, especially with the way the gates have been today. He's finished 4 points clear of the field with a 14-point total, and Kostyov there is crucial in second place, keeping Anders Thompson outside the top 6.
Wow, exciting. This is the way it all is laid out and played out at the end of it all. These guys had to fight at the end on this 384-meter racetrack here, and man, what an experience some of these guys have gotten. The other ones are now sitting on the top of the thing, and I'd say Andres Lebedev is super happy with that one right there, to be able to come back from that gate 4, which he didn't make a super start, but Kostyov was really making it hard for him. And Kostyov decided when Lebedev tried to get around him one time, he knew that he had to go high, and then all of a sudden the track changed a little bit, and he came to the inside, which left the whole outside open for him, didn't it?
It did. He got the job done there, but watch out for Anders Thompson. Unfortunately for him, he got too much into a scrap with Ladorn, which cost him the time to get the second place.
Yeah, difficult when you're trying to avoid the roost coming off the back wheels, trying to pick the right lines and the right time. But at the right time right there, Andres Lebedev's picked his line, went the high line, and got the advantage of that one to put himself in front. And a good race for himself. And then, as you say, Andres Thompson just needed that one more point. And unfortunately for him, he didn't get it.
It's the 2 race wins that Verena has got that put him ahead of Thompson on countback, and indeed Pawlicki as well. They all finished on 9 points, but Verena takes the 6th place because he had 2 race wins ahead of Anders Thompson and Piotr Pawlicki. So what it means is that Lebedev is in the final, and clearly in the final on 14 points, and the countback for The other final place will go in favour of Patrick Dudek. 4 riders on 10 points, and Dudek has had 3 race wins compared to Janowski, Torsell and Mikkelsen, who have all won 2. There's how it shakes out. Lebedev's on 14 points, Dudek on 10, and as we've been saying, Janowski, Torsell and Mikkelsen on 10, Verina on 9, ahead of Thompson and Pavlitsky, but that was such a close fight between really 10 riders for those places.
You know, the interesting side of this event is how it boils down to this, how close it was at the end. Some of our top guys missed out, especially Leon Madsen missing out on this one here. He's the only real guy that didn't get in the mix of these guys to get up on the top side of it. But
what I would say is it's not the absolute end of the world for him. Okay, Lebedev has scored 14, which is really, really impressive, but Madsen with 5, and there'll be some that can add 2 or 3 more points to come, but they're not all sat on 12 or 13. They're sat with 9s and 10s. So that 5 is not the absolute disaster it might have been. It's still tough. But
so we can say it might be, and when we look back at this, was a mediocre,
not bad. Thanks to that last ride win.
Yeah, that's it. Well, there you go. Hopeful thinking for Leon Madsen to pull it all back together for himself. But, you know, Mikkelsen is in there, isn't he? He's got a chance right now, the reigning champ. He's going to be sitting in there. He'll have 3rd pick, too, on the gate positions, the way I see it. But it's going to be Magic Janowski that's going to have 1st pick with Jakob Thorsell 2nd, Mikkelsen 3rd, and Casper Viona picking up whatever's left.
And Rasmus Jensen took the VMAX top. Well, he has done from the first 20 hits anyway, taking the VMAX title, got himself up to 123.3 Ks in that team.
I was 3rd in that, my guess, wasn't I? I said that Anders Thompson might have got there, so something.
And you also said 125, so you weren't too far away in the end.
Yeah,
so good effort. You check out that from our chat on the YouTube pre-meeting stream. We have one of those before every round of the Speedway Euro Championship to build up to the action and get ourselves in the mood. It's once again been a very successful event, and we have 2 big races to come. But I think that the inside gate is certainly going to be the place of choice, certainly as far as Mats Janowski is concerned, who will have the first choice for the last chance. Don't forget the next race that we're going to see, the last chance race, the scores, there is the point scoring from that race does not count towards the series totals. Everything else that you've seen so far, the scores you've just seen, those scores are locked in for the first of 4 rounds, and the grand final itself, whilst the result of the grand final is the result of the meeting, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's also scored 3, 2, 1, 0, and those points carry forward for the 4 rounds carrying on for Grosjeans in the middle of July.
So looking at what the crowd's looking at, and we are looking out through our windows up here in the commentary booth, just over the start-finish lines is a water truck saddled up over there in turns 3, looking to put a little water on the track. I think they should try to avoid that at this stage because there's only 2 races left, and the water does take 2 or 3 races before they actually get a chance to get in there. So, you know, we'll have to see what's going to happen. The tractors are still on it. The fans are enjoying this beautiful afternoon here in Hungary, which is amazing weather. They even got the umbrellas up for the other reasons, to avoid the sunshine.
Yes, we are used to a country where the umbrellas have been up for other reasons for much of the year so far. So to come to this sort of weather has been quite pleasant for the weekend. And but I imagine for the riders, not easy.
No, it's difficult. But you know, this is the time of year when we get hot summer days when you're riding on a lot of the European tracks, especially in Poland. It can be extremely hot, but they get used to it and they can get climatized quite quickly. But it's mainly trying to get the bike set up right. You know, these guys are pretty much used to it now. Lebedev's true to what he said to me pre the event. That he got the bike right. Here we are for the helmet colors. They're going to be sorting out their gate positions now.
Mats Janowski takes the inside gate. There's no surprise there. Janowski will go off the inside. Blue for Torsell, yellow for Mikkelsen, and white for Verina. They were all pretty decisive there. They knew what it was going to be. Casper Verina has the short straw, if you like, of the white helmet colour, because gate 3 is only 1-2 races, as we've said, and that's been people coming from the back. It's only scored 16 points throughout the afternoon as well, whereas the inside gate has scored 45 points, gate 4 has scored 30, and gate 2 has scored 29, with those stats thanks to Candysoft.
Oh, thank you very much for that one. And here we are, this coming up to the well, it's called the last chance races.
Semi-final,
Yep. And I'm watching the tractor going around. He's putting very little water on it, which is nice to see that they got it right for the riders when they come out for this last chance race. Still some racing to go. The first one of 4.
Yep.
Not a bad one to come to. First time they've had this much of a international meeting here, I think, and has it been forever, or is this the first one?
First time we've had the Speedway Euro Championship final series here. Of course, it's had qualifiers and big Grand Prix events and Grand Prix qualifiers, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, a round of a main series.
Yep.
That's great to see it coming here. And as we say, Grosjean's round 2, which is an extra league track, but a slightly technical track, I'd say. It's an interesting one to ride. Looking forward to going there for the first time for the Speedway Euro Championship. Then the old favourite of Gustrov, which can always throw up a surprise or two. But remember, where Kawodze has been brilliant for the last 2 years. And then it all finishes at the Slasky Stadium in Horzów.
Yeah, which is another man-made track on that one, is it? But it's a big man-made track. A lot of the man-made tracks in the arenas are much smaller, but that one's almost probably the size of this place when you're looking at it. And when they step it out and meter-wise, it's not far off of the overall meters of this track here, as I remember. But when we come back to the next round in Poland, that's probably gonna favorite some of the Polish riders, I'd say, wouldn't you?
Well, certainly the ones that race Extraliga and know that track pretty well. That's going to be a help. Obviously, Grosjeans have been in the Extraliga for a number of years. So they're not don't tend to challenge the title, but they always seem to manage to avoid relegation. So there will be riders who will know that track pretty well. That comes up in July, of course. And as we say, Gustrov is the one that can often confuse people and produce a shock result. And so yeah, it's an interesting series. And the way this has worked out, where we know that whatever happens now, Andrzej Lebedev will be our series leader heading into round 2. Question of how many points he's going to get. At the moment, there's every sense he'll pick the inside gate for the final. He could win this meeting and score 17. That's only one off the maximum, and he could be very well placed indeed.
Well, that's where you want to be when you come to the first round, if you're going to have one. It was, it's funny. That was the first rider I spoke to about what it would be like here with the mechanical side of things, and he had total confidence in his equipment. He's got a good setup, he says, and the engines are set up for these kind of conditions, and it worked out good for him.
Well, he's got one race to come to try and win a round of the Speedway Euro Championship for the first time. But in the meantime, we're going to find out who he's going to face in the final. We know that Patrick Dudek is there as well. But Mikael Mikkelsen, the defending champion, who's had to work his way into the meeting, only got 2 points from his first 2 rides, but has picked up decent points and has got 10 out of it already. So something of an escape for him. He's managed to recover things, whereas Leon Madsen only managed to pick up 1 win in his last ride and ended up with 5. So Mikkelsen off the outside here in the last chance extra heat semi-final. Jakob Torsell is on his way. Here we come onto the track, and the referee about to put the riders on 2 minutes for the penultimate race of the day here in Debrecen, and a race which we require 2 riders to reach the final of the first round of the Tyrone Speedway Euro Championship. Janowski, Torsell, Farina and Mikael Mikkelsen.
Yeah, it's all even again, isn't it? These guys now are just fighting for a place in the final. The points do not count in this last chance race, but to add more points to your total, you must make the final. So the top 2 in this one will transfer through to the final. Janowski has come back good after his exclusion in his first race of the evening, and Jakob Torsell would love to be able to add to his point total when making that final. But the champion of 2024 coming into this one is Mikael Mikkelsen, which would love to make sure his name's on that trophy for the 4th time this year.
That would be some achievement. That would be some achievement indeed, and to also win it back-to-back, which no one has done since Emil Sayfutdinov in 2014 and 2015, and Mikkelsen winning it in 2019, 21 and 23. There is Mats Janowski, as you say. He's done well after an exclusion first time out to put himself into this last chance and top of that countback list for a gate pick, for an inside pick, so he's well placed here. Torsell next to him, Marina gate 3 and Mikkelsen off the outside.
Yeah, it's interesting if you're looking at the results here. It's only Casper Vriona that's had a 0. He's actually, I would say, the surprise package in this last chance race. He's really come of age, and it'd be nice to see him come through this one if he possibly can from gate number 3.
So we need 2 riders for the grand final to join Andrzej Lebedevs and Patrick Dudek in that race. Janowski taking his time. There's 15 seconds to go on the clock. Janowski was off the bike there, doing his final warm-up, and wants to start, I think, right on the inside. Only 8 seconds to go here, so time to get in line. Mats Janowski, Jakob Torsell, Casper Farina and Mikael Mikkelsen at the start line for the semi-final. Last chance here to the final. Away they go. Janowski gets it off the inside, coming across Mikkelsen from the outside, and they have it so far. Mikkelsen, can he make it round there, or can Jakob Torsell come through into second? Mikkelsen goes round Jakob Torsell into the third bend. Tinoski with the lead. Mikkelsen wide on turn 4. Still a battle on there for second place with Torsell battling hard, going back through into second place. Torsell back in front of Mikkelsen here. Mikkelsen going wide off turn 2. Nothing out there for him, and now here comes Casper Verina.
Yeah, you would think that Mikkelsen would have, he was dedicated to that thing. You see the dirt, the dust coming up behind the wheels. There's not much moisture out there, so Torsell's just got to keep these guys crammed up behind him to get himself into that final.
This might take Jakob Torsell into his first ever Speedway Euro Championship final. They certainly are going to catch Mats Tinoski, who's out in front. Nicholson's got the third here over Verina, but that won't be enough to take him through with 1 lap to go. Is there anything in it now for the defending champion? He's got some ground to make up here on Jakob Torsell. It's Mats Tinoski with the lead, having dominated there from the inside gate, but Torsell in second, Nicholson in third, with Verina at the back, and that looks like the way they will finish here in the semi. It's a win for Mats Tinoski. He goes through, Jakob Torsell goes through as well, Mikkelsen goes out, Casper Verina goes out, and it will be a first final for Jakob Torsell there in second place, and indeed a first final for Mats Tinoski, who last rode in the series back in 2013. He finished in 6th place overall that year, but never made a final. He has done today.
Well, congratulations to both those young guys. That's superb racing right there. And when it comes down to the pinch in the last chance race, you got to throw everything you got at it. But it was, again, a result from the inside gates right there, and a little bit of dust coming up from the track when they're going around it. So it'll be quite interesting to see what the order will be when it comes down to gate positions for the final. But out in front right there, Tinoski wins that one pretty comfortably, with Torsell having to work hard to keep Mikkel Mikkelsen behind him for the first lap or so, as Mikkel was searching for some drive on the outside line. And you can see from the start right here that Tinoski right up there, seconds to go before he made his position choice on that inside gate, but it paid off for him, got himself out in front. You can see with the yellow helmet color there, Mikkelsen coming from that gate 4 really reached for the dirt up there, thinking there was going to be something there, as it's been traditionally throughout the whole evening, or the afternoon I should say here, that there was a little bit of dirt out there. But the track creators did not put any water on in this one right here, left these guys to a track that was a little bit dusty, and it wasn't going to affect him with the water, but it wasn't enough grip out there for him. And Jakob Torsell, the Swede, gets in there and steals that second place, but not without a battle from the Dane, Mikkelsen, the previous championship winner 3 times in this European Championships here.
Well, it is quite a story here in Debrecen, the first round of the Tyrol Speedway Euro Championship. As you see the battle there with Mikkelsen losing out, trying to get through to second place. If you look at the last 10 rounds of the Speedway Euro Championship, they have all been won by either Leon Madsen, Mikkelsen or Janis Kawodze, none of whom are in today's final, because of course Kawodze isn't here anyway due to injury, and we are going to have a new winner whatever happens. Lebedevs, Dudek, Tinoski and Torsell, none of whom have won a round of the Speedway Euro Championship, and you've got to go back even further to Gnežno 2020 for the last time we didn't see either Madsen or Mikkelsen in a final. So it's really shaking things up here today. Some surprise scores.
Some great stats there, David. That's perfect there. Now we're getting ready for the big one now. They're going to have to be able to pick their gates. It's going to be a no-brainer, I would say, on the inside gate for the first pick. I think you can write him in now for Andrzej Lebedev, so I don't think he's going anywhere else. All right, let's start. You first. Well, I'll definitely put Lebedevs up the inside. But I think the interesting question there is, what does Dudek do? Yeah. Their tractors, only a little bit of water's going on the track. Interesting. It was quite dusty in that last race. Wow, so there we go. So it's definitely going to be, I get it. I get what they should have done, but they should have probably done it before the last chance race. But for the final here, they're putting some water down on the track, and that's definitely going to throw a spanner in the works for these guys as far as the racing goes on this track. But that's going to make the gate so much more critical. Well, Patrick Dudek will have the second choice, appearing in the final for the first time since Łódź 2022, and then it will be the two who came through the last chance race, Tinoski and Torsell, who will have the last pick. So I think it really does rest on what Patrick Dudek does here. Do you go for the water truck has literally done really one lap, and interestingly I can see, looking over to the pits, Patrick Dudek has been watching that. He's been standing at the pits gate on Bend 2 just to see where that water has gone down.
I don't know. They look like they've walked to the inside to me. Would you go for the outside?
Well, right now, I'm not a track creator and I'm not the one doing the maintenance of it, but right now it looks like a perfect chance for them to go out there with the grader and just kind of get some of the water off of it and put a little bit of material on top of it. But at the end of the day, this is what the final 4 riders are going to be faced with, and to answer your question, is pretty glassy on the inside lines right there.
Looking out of our window towards turn 1, on the inside it's glistening. You can see where the water has gone down, and whereas the outside looks much drier. So that may be a call for Dudek. I don't think it will change what Lebedev's does because the inside has been so dominant.
Yeah, it's one of those things where whatever time we got before these riders get on the start line, there's not really any wind that I can say, just a slight little breeze going on, the sun shining, the fans have got the umbrellas up just as you would expect in this temperatures, and they got their fans out, so that little bit of temperature just might dry the track up enough to keep the riders happy. But it's critical to get out of that start, and there's no doubt about it with Andreas Lebedev's only dropping 1 point throughout this 4-5 races he's had to get himself in the top position, and first pick is going to pay dividends if he does pick the right gate, which will be 1. The stats are there. 48 points have come from that, 13 wins, and then the outside with 31 points and 4 wins, with the remaining gates number 2 and 3 only 2 wins, but in circumstances that might have been easier heats whenever the riders were positioned on, the favorite rider was positioned in heat number 3. But the riders now will be getting antsy about picking what's left.
It's been a dream meeting so far for Andreas Lebedev's dropped a point in heat 1 to Jakob Thorsen, who's been unbeaten ever since. And as I say, that means he will take the series lead to Grosjean's with him in the second round. Good to see some Polish fans have made the trip. I saw some Czestochowa fans here earlier, and Zagorna Gora as well. So good to see them making the trip. Long way, of course, especially if you've been involved in league racing last night as well, but enjoying the sunshine and seeing Speedway at new venues. And that's what part of the Speedway Euro Championship is about. We go to different places. We don't just go to the same venues year on year. We mix things up, we shake it about, and we get surprise results. And we have every point counting as well, which does enable things to build up as the season goes on.
Yeah, and it's nice to get some sunshine for a change for us coming from Great Britain. This is it's not been a very pleasant year so far, with the rain dotting in every other day, almost seems like it. But it's nice here, and the track conditions, running it in the daytime like we do, does make things a little bit difficult. But the fans are loving it, we're loving it, and there's some great racing, and still some to finish it off.
Well, we're waiting the gate choices for the big final, and I'm sure that's not going to be too far away. Riders making their final preparations in the pits for that race. They've watched out what's been going on with the track, which I have to say it has dried out quite a bit now. Yeah. From what I said when the water was put down, give it 2 or 3 minutes in the hot sunshine. Still is hot sunshine here in the late afternoon. Where are we now? We're nearly approaching 5:30 in the evening, but we noticed yesterday it was still very, very hot early evening, so I don't think there's any great concerns there. Let's have a look and see who's going to pick what for the final. Lebedev's with first choice. Inside gate. Now, Patrick Dudek is the interesting one. Will he be going outside or will he be going gate 2?
He did make it off of gate 2. Yeah, he's going
outside. Outside for Dudek, so Magic Janoski. I don't think there's too much doubt there. That's going to be gate 2, and that is therefore going to be Jakob Thorsen off gate 3. So Lebedev's inside, Janoski gate 2, Thorsen gate 3, Dudek off the outside. That is where they will line up for the grand final. And we won't be too far away from getting a start here. Dudek, as you mentioned, did win off gate 2 in heat 6. That was the race. That was a race that saw him beat Mats Janoski and Mikkel Mikkelsen, so he did do a good job in that race.
And the way that bike just jumped from that gate 2 at that particular time was pretty impressive, thinking he was going to be able to do it from gate number 3, but that was a little bit more of a slow jump, and then he actually had to work hard to come across and win that one. Yeah, let's see what he's coming from the gate number 4 now. There's a little bit looking down. He's got a chance, but the first corner that little bit of water on it, it's going to be difficult. I tell you, Lebedev's is going to have to be perfect around the first corner and then pick the right line going into gate number 3. And the rest of the boys are going to have to look for options. Janowski is going to have to think about where is he going to go, how far wide is Lebedev's going to go to slow down the possibility of Dudek coming around, or maybe he can slip in on the inside. These guys are pitted right next to each other. Look at that in the pits right there. Lebedev's in the red right there, and just to his right is Janowski getting himself prepared to come out now that they've selected their final positions here in the final race of the evening time for the first round of 4 of the Speedway European Championships. And Lebedev's, to remind everybody, and Dave will remind me in a minute, I'm sure, that he's never won one of the rounds, but he has won the series.
2017, when he did become Speedway Euro champion, he finished 3rd in the first round at Torun, 2nd at Gustrov, 2nd at Halstavik, and 2nd at Lublin. He was really, really consistent and never actually won a round. So that would be something to tick off if he could do that today, and big points as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's the one in control. He's the one that had first pick in this grand final, and he positioned himself right on the inside, which is the stats say is the best place to be. The track graders put a little bit of water down to keep the dust down, and I'm sure this track's not going to be as easy as we might think it would be. One of these riders is going to have to work extremely hard to keep the next rider behind him. If the track lets him or not, we'll soon find out. There's 384 meters of this direction track, and it's the first time they've seen such a prestigious event come here. The fans are overjoyed for the fact that this has come to their city, and we're appreciative of being here. They've been very hospitality's been excellent for everything they've done for us while me and David's been here. But here we go, the grand final building up.
Should point out that race-winning time that we saw with Patrick Dudek of 65.8. That's actually a new track record here at Debrecen. It's actually pinned up on the board here that Jakob Jamrog in 2015 on a time of 66.5 was the previous track record holder. So well done to Patrick Dudek there on that one. But what can he make of the outside gate here in the final?
Well, if he's the fastest man around this 384-meter track, he'll be one to tell us, and he's second pick, and he could have easily gone for gate number 2, but he would have had to then contend with Lebedev. He's no slouch around here this afternoon. He's won every race but one so far, and in the final right now, surely he's got to be the favorite.
Lebedev's inside, Janowski gate 2, Torcel gate 3, Dudek gate 4. If you're Lebedev's here, do you make the start and pin it to the inside round turns 1 and 2?
You do, and then you let it go as soon as you can off of turn 2, straight into the dirt line, and then cut back across. Very easily said, very hard to do.
Well, let's see who can do it here in the grand final in Debrecen, the first round of the Tauron Speedway Euro Championship 2024. We are going to see a new winner here this afternoon, but who will it be? Lebedev's on the inside, Janowski gate 2, Torcel gate 3, Dudek off the outside. Here we go then for the final in Hungary. Away they go. Lebedev lifting off the inside, makes it to the bend. Dudek doing well from gate 4. It's come through into second place. Goes too wide. Patrick Dudek off the back of the bike and down on the track on turn 2. Red lights, race stopped. Dudek had done really well off gate 4 there, but then just got himself into a 2 and 8 mid-turn, backed it out, went down, cannot believe it. He's okay, that's good to see, but we'll see the replay shortly on just how he got caught out as Patrick Dudek comes to grief in the final.
Victim of the conditions. Victim of the conditions. You know, you can make a start, get yourself in there, and look at how glassy it is. No matter what you do, that bike's going to have its own mind because you can't find the traction. And unfortunately, it's a pretty easy decision, I'm sure, for the referee, but he did everything he could to get there, and the bike just went away from him right where the water was. And you just can't count on the consistency of the track after they put water on it. When the conditions underneath that dirt right there are so hard, the bike just has a mind of its own, no matter how good of a rider you are, especially when you made such a good start and you know you have half a chance. Your adrenaline's pumping, you're forcing the bike into position, and it just takes it away from you.
There's confirmation that the rider in yellow, Patrick Dudek, is excluded. I think he got to the point of no return, didn't he? He got to the point where the bike was going to spit him off, and in the end he came off the back. But yeah, I feel for him. Really feel for him. He's ridden well today. But will he look back in the end? Will he think, should I have gone for the outside? It's always a tough choice.
Yeah, but even so,
not been great,
even so, it's probably his best chance. If he could have got through that, he would have probably been in a pretty good position down the back straightaway to be able to build up some speed and possibly put a threat on whoever might have been in front of him going into turn 3. Because you just got a longer straightaway, you can build up the speed a lot more by the time you get to turn 3.
Here he is
and
again.
then go. So, you know, he gets in that corner, gets over the top of all his riders, but Lebedev's there lifts a little bit on the inside, but that doesn't affect Dudek. Dudek was just a victim of the conditions of the track. The bike let loose. There's just no way to control that when it goes. He's just gone.
That wheel just steps out, and from that point on, he's off the back.
Yeah, he's just a victim of not being able to find any traction when he wants it. And
sometimes a move like that on some tracks in some conditions, that move on the outside may have fired him right round the outside.
Yeah, it just as soon as he turned the bike, it was like on ice. Like he's keeping the bike upright all the way through here. Now he's thinking, all right, I got to turn the bike, get myself in there, and it just lets loose. And you know, the best thing for him to do is get off that bike and save himself, and that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately for the racer, he's not going to be a happy camper at the end of that one. But I mean, he scored some points. He's in there. He got 10 points.
Yep.
You know, it's going to help him.
It's a decent day's work on a day when, you know, lots of people have dropped points. It's frustrating. You can see it there on his face. But it's a very interesting situation because we're going to have, whatever happens in the final, Lebedev will be the series leader, who, with all respect, is not one of the riders fancied to win the series, but he may well be now with the way he's going. These other guys are going to also still fancy their chances. And Dudek has certainly got points on the board here. It's just he will feel he could have had more in the final.
No doubt about it. And whenever you can't finish the 4 laps of a final, you'll never know, right?
Yeah.
In his conditions and circumstances, he'll never know. But Lebedev's going to have another chance from that inside. He had the first pick in this grand final, scoring 14 points out of 15. Janowski's squeezed in there to get himself amongst them on 10 points. And likewise with Jakob Dorsel. Jakob Dorsel will be coming from gate number 3, which isn't the favorite. It hasn't been all night. But he will have nobody on the outside of him. So he's going to be in probably a better position than he was on the first attempt of this grand final, because there's nobody to the outside to worry about. He can literally pick his own lines, and hopefully if Janowski can just get over the top of Lebedev's in that first corner, they can push each other offline that little bit, and Jakob Dorsel might have an opportunity. So he didn't make a bad jump, did Jakob Dorsel, out of that gate 3, but you know, Dudek made it better, and then, you know, Dorsel had to go plan B straight away. But it's a whole different combination of scenarios now that's going to approach these 3 riders. Definitely not for Lebedev's, but for the other 2 for sure.
It's really interesting looking at the track and looking out the window, and you can see the wide shot moments ago. It looks like there's 2 different tracks out there with the difference in the consistency, or the difference in the watering. You've got part of the track is quite dark brown colour. The rest of it is almost like sandy, much lighter. And I guess the crossover point on that is very, very difficult.
Yeah, it's a shame that we're talking about conditions of the track at this critical point in the afternoon, where these guys, this is the final. You don't want nothing to hinder your approach, nothing to hinder your 4 laps, but they do have to deal with it. And there's a little bit too much water on the racing lines, but they all have to deal with the same thing. But the favorite rider that's earned the most points is probably the one sitting on the inside.
Well, these will be our 3 podium finishers here in Debrecen, but who will be, or what order will they finish in? We have about half a minute or just over that to go before the start of the grand final, the restart of the grand final, with Patrick Dudek excluded for crashing in the first staging. So Andrzej Lebedev's on the inside gate, Maciej Janowski off gate 2, and Jakob Dorsel off gate 3. They are all going to be on the podium this afternoon, but in which order will it be? 20 seconds to go. Lebedev's got to nail that start once again off the inside. Into line they come for the restart of the final. Lebedev's in line on the inside. Janowski on gate 2. Dorsel on gate number 3. Here we go for the restart of the final in Debrecen. 3 at the start line. away they go, and Lebedev gets there. Janowski made a pretty good one in blue, but Lebedev controls that first turn, does nail the inside line, keeps it pinned on the inside all the way round, turns 1 and 2, and there's Lebedev's lead. But look at the speed now of Mats Janowski round the outside, and Lebedev knows he's there, takes a look over his shoulder, Janowski trying to sweep round, and now the turn back by Mats Janowski, brilliant ride by Janowski to turn back, Lebedev will turn back once again, then neck and neck on the back straight, closed off by Janowski, he leads, Lebedev in second place, Torso in third, what a move by Janowski.
Wow, you know what I'm saying about moving out, taking the track up with Janowski. Knew every move that Lebedev was going to do and just took the best line on the track. Lebedev is back up the inside now. The mistake of Janowski.
Oh, what a final mistake by Mats Janowski, and as Lebedev pounces once again, take the advantage from the speed is with Mats Janowski round the outside. Lebedev holds the inside, maintains that position. 1 lap to go. Andrzej Lebedev from Mats Janowski, who's really going hard round the outside. Torso in third. Here comes Mats Janowski again. Andrzej Lebedev is the final bend with the advantage. Janowski goes really high and wide around the outside. Lebedev's the fast line on the inside, right to the finishing line, and Andrzej Lebedev wins it. Lebedev wins in Debrecen, his first ever Speedway Euro Championship victory. Lebedev's over Janowski in a fabulous final here. Lebedev takes it over Janowski with Torso in third place. The Latvian star on top, and he takes 17 points in the meeting. Mats Janowski must have thought he had it in the bag, but made that mistake on turn 2. Lebedev's pounced once again, and for the first time in his long career in the Speedway Euro Championship, Andrzej Lebedev is a meeting winner.
The Latvian did not disappoint himself in that one right there. Just for a second there, the pole, Janowski thought he was going to have it his own way. He worked as hard as he could to upset the Latvian through those 4 laps in that grand final right there. But the mistake that Janowski made going into turns 1 and 2 cost him that lead that he built after he passed Lebedev's, and Lebedev's just pounced straight back up the inside, dedicated to his line, and comes out victorious.
Fabulous stuff, and look at Lebedev's milking the crowd as well. He might. Absolutely fantastic, and he's got a 5-point lead in the Speedway Euro Championship overall as well. Mats Janowski in second place, Jakub Torso in third, but Andrzej Lebedev is one of the most popular riders around. Always got a smile on his face and always working hard to get himself back to the front, which he's been doing. And there is confirmation that Lebedev is the winner of the meeting, with Janowski in second place and Torso in third. And in the end, that grand final second stage of it was the best race of the day. Brilliant ride by Janowski to hit the front. Let's take it through.
I'll be darned. Look at the start, that inside gator, and that's Lebedev's leading this. Only dropped 1 point throughout the 5 races to get himself into the grand final, but in the blue helmet cover. The gentleman that was excluded from his first race out when he took out Pietro Pavlitsky on an accident, awkward turns 1 corner for him, and now he is battling to see if he can get out in front of his grand final. Did everything right, got himself going. Now he's cutting back to the inside, and he just crossed up a little bit right there, which kept him honest. But then as the race unfolded throughout the next lap right here, you can see Janowski coming in the corner, and he made that slight mistake right there, the double take of that corner, which left the door wide open for Lebedev to come in there and steal it back.
Great racing, brilliant stuff, and fair play to both of them. They kept it clean. They were very close indeed. That was some move by Mats Janowski, really classy move. But Andrzej Lebedev didn't let him get away and pounced on the mistake. Next time round, Lebedev is doing donuts all around the circuit at the moment. He's enjoying the celebrations. And Janowski took it right to the checkered flag as well, trying to make it back round the outside. Really fantastic race. And there we go. And there's the celebrations from Lebedev. That takes some doing.
Yeah, he's going to be dizzy after that one.
Yeah, and that's one of the classic SEC races over the years. That's an absolutely fantastic final here, and a great way to finish the meeting. And as I say, 17 points out of 18. We don't often see 18. You've got to go back 6 years before we saw someone score 18. So 17 on one day for Lebedev's, and he's 5 points in front of Janowski in the series.
And it's his first ever win, isn't it?
Yep, it is.
It's his first ever win. Yep, fair play.
Yep.
Good on him.
The champion, the series champion 7 years ago, but not actually winning a round in that series. But certainly putting himself on the mark in this.
Super, super good to see him go out there and do it, and he's going to be enjoying it for the rest of the weekend, I'm sure. But he's got some racing probably coming up tomorrow, doesn't he?
We're just saying farewell to the referee, Christina Turnbull, who's done a marvellous job here this afternoon. And yes, Andrzej Lebedev's who actually is not racing tomorrow because he's racing last night for Leżno at Czestochowa, where he only scored 3 points. So how fortunes can change.
There you go. So you just don't give up on yourself. Go out there and keep battle on. A new series, the first one of 4 here in 2024 for the Speedway European Championships. And, man, these guys had to battle hard. Conditions were tough. The heat played its part. This is an afternoon event, and very difficult to get the track perfect. Depending on what riding number that you drew would play dividends or catastrophe in some cases on the way the track is. But you know, when you got heavy hitters like Leon Madsen only scoring a few points when he should have been scoring tons more, and he only got those points late in the event, pulling it together, being on one of the favorite gates towards the end. But still fair play to everybody out there battling on.
Yep, we're about to get the final the presentations on the day, and maybe we're going to hopefully get a word with some of the boys as well after the action. But yeah, it's been quite a day here in Debrecen, and quite some fun of it was too. The crowd of many of them made their way around towards the start to enjoy the podium celebrations. We'll be seeing the top 3 making their way up there pretty soon, and then the Latvian national anthem we're sounding out for Andrzej Lebedev's as well. So yeah, it's been quite an event, quite a dramatic day all round, and lots of surprise scorelines that have been a part of this meeting too. So yeah, it has been really exciting. A great final, a great battle between Lebedevs and Janowski. Brilliant final. Let's get some reaction with Marcin.
Ladies and gentlemen of Debrecen, please put your hands together in a round of applause for Andrzej Lebedev. Andrzej, the first win for you in the SEC history. How does it feel here in Debrecen?
Incredible, guys. You are amazing. I always have come here racing with your support. Yeah, today I'm really feeling like I'm at home. Thank you for your support. You are amazing. And yeah, that is such a great feeling. Win first time. I'm be on the podiums few times, but finally. And here is special for me because really Debrecen love you. Thank you.
Andrzej, what a final. I think the best heat of the night. You really put on the fight with Maciej Janowski. There was a moment when you lost to him. What did you feel when you saw him make a mistake in that first corner?
I feel shit. completely. When I see how much Maciej built the speed out of the corner, I say, no way, not today. God help me, please, and God listen me today and help me in the third lap. Magic make a mistake also, and good my bike help me also, and I pass again Magic, and yeah, finally and finish first time, like you say, in the European Championship.
Congratulations once again. When you come back home tonight, you're gonna see 5 points advantage over Maciej Janowski. Are you going to believe that 2017 European Championship is possible for Andrzej Lebedev once again?
Everything is possible. Every round we coming enjoy meeting and everything, racing. I love speedway, and that is important thing, and I try my best, and sometimes it happens, sometimes not. I try my best and pushing hard for make gold again for Latvia.
Thank you very much, Andrzej. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, Martin, and thank you very much to Andrzej Lebedev. And he said it there, I love Speedway, and that is so important. If you're enjoying what you're doing, if you're enjoying your racing, that has got to make a massive impact on what you're actually doing.
Yeah, he's passionate about it, and he's always, as you said too, and I'll compliment you on that one, Dan. He's always got a smile on his face, doesn't he? He's just never disappointed about being a competitor in this great sport of Speedway, and for him to go out there and pull it off, and maybe it's the monkey off his back, never winning one, He's in good form. He's getting the experience at the top level in the Grand Prix, and you got to think that that's helping him.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case, and regularly racing in the Extraliga as well. Here is Jakob Torsell, who is on the podium in third place. Great effort by the Swede, who, remind you, is in as a reserve today because of the injuries elsewhere, but that will do his future prospects no harm whatsoever. And a rider you know very well, Sam, from obviously his days in the UK at Wolverhampton, but a classy rider, and he's done well today.
Yeah, he really let it out today, I think. I've seen him before make starts and don't seal the deal, but today was pretty consistent and going forward every race, so well done to him.
It's great to see Mats Janowski in the Speedway Euro Championship, and after being excluded from his first ride for a clash with Piotr Pawlicki, he's worked his way through to second place. It was so nearly first place as well, but for the mistake on the third lap of the final. But it's second place for Janowski. He's 5 points off Lebedev's in the series, but he's putting himself, he's certainly stating his intention to do well in this series.
Yeah, he was coming into this one by winning the challenge to get himself into this competition, and we weren't sure what Janowski's was going to be here, were we? We were kind of questioning that in our pre-show earlier, and well, he just showed us who he's all about and what he's all about.
He very much did, and certainly also showing us what he's all about is the meeting winner for the first time in his career. He's a former series champion, but the first time in his career he's been number one in a particular meeting of the Speedway Euro Championship, and that is Andrzej Lebedevs of Latvia, the 2017 champion. Will it be his year in 2024, I wonder? He's got points in the bag over some of the more established contenders. The series champion Mikkel Mikkelsen on 10 points, Lebedevs on 17 as he lifts the trophy aloft for winning here in Hungary. The main trophy is also on the podium. We saw that earlier as well, the one they're going for that will be given out in Horzów, but the meeting leader is Lebedevs, and for Latvia, which is a very proud man as well, he will be celebrating with the Latvian national anthem very, very shortly.
Most pedig következik a lett nemzeti himnusz. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Latvia.
Well done to our top three here in Debrecen. Third place for Jakob Torsell, second place for Mats Janowski, and the win for Andrzej Lebedevs. And the next thing to be presented is the leader's jersey, the leader's race jacket for Lebedevs. The win today, and the leader on the race jacket, and that lead is 5 points. Lebedev 17, Janowski 12, Torsell 11, Dudek and Mikkelsen both on 10. That's a handy lead after one round.
You would want that, if you had thought that before the evening, you'd be satisfied with the win overall, I guess. But 5 points is very handy, as you say, and a bit mixed up because there's a few guys that dropped some big points that have been at the top in this championship for a while now, and the boys are champions coming out. And guess what? He gets to eat it all.
Unfortunately for Andrzej, he hasn't managed to open the bottle in time, and so he's in a soaking. But
no goggles either, so he's got that right in the eyes. Oh, boys, that sting.
That thing, okay.
Yeah, look, he's rubbing now. It hurts. Yeah, he can't focus for a while.
I'm sure he will be okay with that in the end. Lebedev's celebrating his victory in the Speedway Euro Championship Round 1. And, well, it's been an interesting day. Here are the standings confirmed then. Lebedev's leading on 17, Janowski on 12, Torsell 11, Dudek and Mikkelsen both on 10. I guess the question is, can Leon Madsen recover from 5 points?
It is a big question. Let's hope that all of the stuff behind the scenes we don't want to hear about, and it all gets good for him, and he come back and battle on. But, we did say that in this series, if you can have a mediocre meeting, you can afford one of them, and the rest of them you got to be competing at. So let's hope that 5 points is a mediocre meeting for a guy at his standards, and he can come back firing. But you know, there's other contenders missing out in this one as well that could be coming back.
And Jonas Kawadze, of course, also could be in the frame, hopefully, by the next round. Let's just remind you of the events to come in the Speedway Euro Championship this season. Grosjean's is next on the 20th of July, Gustro on the 24th of August, and Horzov on the 21st of September. Sam, final thoughts? It was an interesting afternoon meeting, and that final was something to behold.
Yeah, it all came together right at the end, and pretty pleased with it, and hope the fans go away happy, and we have as well.
We've certainly enjoyed the weather and the racing, and the man who's enjoyed it the most is the winner, Andrzej Lebedev. Sorcel in third place, Janowski in second. Our winner, Andrzej Lebedev. Congratulations to him. He takes a 5-point lead into round 2. We will see you in Grosjean's in July. From me, Dave Rowe, and Simon Malenko, it's a very good evening.
Catch ya.
you.